Nice job.
Thanks.
Dozens of people are dead or missing following an attempt to migrate by sea from Senegal to Spain.
A boat believed to have departed Senegal with more than 100 migrants in early July has been rescued with just a few dozen survivors and several dead on board near the Atlantic island nation of Capo Verde. Senegal's Foreign Affairs Ministry says the boat was rescued on Tuesday by a local Coast Guard. Authorities have not yet confirmed how many migrants died. The Spanish migrancy advocacy group Walking Borders says the vessel was a large fishing boat that had left Senegal on July 10. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The Israeli Defense Ministry says it has secured its largest ever defense deal, selling a sophisticated missile defense system to Germany for $3.5 billion after the U.S. approved the deal. Could draw the attention of Russia, with which Israel has maintained working relations throughout the war in Ukraine. News and analysis, townhall.com. The Teamsters throw their weight behind a job action by some Amazon delivery workers.
The union flexed their muscles to score wins during contract negotiations with UPS last month. Now they're focused on helping drivers of the online behemoth bargain over pay and working conditions. Since late June, dozens of Amazon drivers and dispatchers who work for a California-based delivery firm organized by the Teamsters have been picketing company warehouses as far out as Michigan and Massachusetts. The dispute signals the next battlefront in Amazon's efforts to fend off organized labor and the Teamsters' years-long aim to take on one of their most formidable opponents. Rhonda Rockster reports.
The tough economy boosting the bottom line of a major discount retailer. Walmart reports strong second-quarter sales results as its low-price model continues attracting budget-conscious consumers. The nation's largest retailer boosting its annual outlook. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy. Why is my thing not working? Can you hear me okay over there? Because I'm looking at my VU meters and I'm not seeing nothing. Can you hear me? You're good. Okay. I was just looking at my thing and I'm not hearing me in the headphones very well. And then I was looking at my on-air computer and it was not green like it normally is. So I was like, uh-oh, are people not hearing me? But apparently they are. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Happy Thursday on the eve of week 1 of high school football. Tomorrow night, all goes down. We'll have Roswell Coyotes right here for you on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. We will have the Goddard Rockets, their home matchup for you on our sister station 106.1 FM Fiero. And for Artesia Bulldog fans, we also cover them on our sister station 990 AM KSVP in Artesia. All 3 broadcasts, we will have live streaming video and video on demand after the game for you. Log on to ksvptv.com. You'll see all of our channels of different video streaming. One is the Mornings with Mike Winters. If you want to watch us live and on demand, it's there. But you'll see one for the Artesia Bulldogs, and there you'll go to find the Bulldog games. You'll find one for the Goddard Rockets. Go there to watch Goddard football. and then you'll find one that says Roswell Coyotes. You click on that one to watch Coyotes football. And every game that we stream, you'll find them right there. And but this week, we're able to stream. It's video streaming gets a little territorial. That's why when we're down in the South, we're pretty good. Like we get permissions and people let us in there. But as we get up north in the state for matchups, there's a company called ProView that is contracted to do video streaming for multiple districts throughout the state. So in those locations, they generally aren't too receptive to letting us come in with video. We can get radio in there, but generally there's not enough space for us and video. When ProView's there, they generally take those spots. So, and they don't let us in. It's usually up to the districts, each school, and things. Like right now, we have relationships in certain, like Four Corners. We've got relationship. We're good there. But like place like Clovis, like if they play, we go into Clovis, we go there. ProView covers a lot of that, so we don't really get to do those things and they've kind of shifted their territories too. So it's changed over the year. They were more into Albuquerque and that area, the metro area, but they're not so much in there now. But now they're in different places like Clovis and I think like Berlin, that area. So they're kind of adjacent. But with that, we try every week, and we're going to do our best to have it. There are 2 or 3 games this season where we're probably not going to be able to do streaming just because of the very situation I talked about. But we'll have that for every week. We'll have it, and then of course when we get to playoff time, sometimes we can do that first or second round of playoffs video. But once we get to championship and that level, and then maybe semifinals, it gets a little trickier for us to do the video because we don't own the rights. We have to purchase the rights, and if no one's covering them via either any of our schools that we cover, if none of them are being covered video-wise during the playoffs, and we generally try to pick up the rights for all that. But the season gets underway tomorrow. The Goddard Rockets, Roswell Coyotes, both in action. The Rockets will be here at home. The Coyotes travel to Lovington. Again, we'll have both those games for you. 106.1 for all your Goddard Rocket football, 106.5 for Roswell Coyote football, and KSVPTV.com for video of both schools' football games tomorrow and throughout the season. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We do have a pretty full slate for you. Brian Luck, Roswell Independent School District Superintendent, going to join us here in just a few minutes. Give us a recap of last school board meeting and just how the start of the school year is going for them. In the 8 o'clock hour, I was initially going to have Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director. It's her normal slot, but she called late last night and cannot make it this morning. So we're going to replay an interview in that place. We had the folks from American Legion Post 61 join us on Tuesday in the 9 o'clock hour talking about some of their stuff. So I'm going to slide that interview into the 8 o'clock time slot there. And then in the 9 o'clock hour at 9:15, we're going to have the folks from the DA's office join us here. A lot of times we'll have one of the assistant DAs or the DA or some of the investigators and things. So they'll join us this month to give us peel back the curtain a little bit and show us a little how the sausage is made in the DA's office. I love those conversations because they're a lot of it's theoretical, but you really get to see the perspective of what they're doing when it goes to how the cases are prosecuted, what they're dealing with, all that stuff. So I find it fascinating. I think people listening do too. So we'll have our next one here about 9:15 this morning here with Dennis Kentai and the folks from the DA's office there. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local, national variety. I'll try to work in that Cowboys report, sports updates, all that stuff, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Hey, don't forget, earlier this week we had the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office on, and Drew told us about this week they've got a pecan weevil trap workshop. They had one yesterday, but if you missed it, there are 2 more opportunities to participate in the workshop, one today and then one next Tuesday. So you can pop in at 5:30 this afternoon. or tomorrow or Tuesday of next week, the 22nd at 5:30. The workshops will take place at the Extension office, which is at 200 East Chisholm, suite number 4. It is free. Space is limited. It is first come, first serve, so just come on in. But and if you're like, well, do I need to go this? If you have pecan trees, probably a good idea, because in the commercial world, they haven't hit it. But we have the pecan weevils, and they've quarantined. You can't take your pecans. If you have a pecan, just take them out of state and all that because of the quarantine and these pecan weevils. So they've got these workshops to show you how to make the traps and stuff, and when to set them, how to set them, what to do with them, and all of that stuff. So if you have pecan trees, probably should go to one of these workshops, so either you can get rid of pecan weevils or avoid getting pecan weevils. So pretty good one there, especially because you can't do not know what you're not, you're gonna be mad. So avoid that. Go to get the workshop, get the trap done. All right, it is 7:14. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No rain coming up for a while. We have dry air in place, and that'll allow our temperatures to heat up quite a bit today. 105 for the afternoon high and sunny. Overnight, some clouds and low 70s, and then between 100 and 105 on Friday, and we keep the sunshine. Clear Friday night. We'll stay right around the 100-degree mark both Saturday and Sunday, and mostly sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, where'd my weather go? There it is. Currently 76 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 37%. Winds are out of the west at 3 miles per hour. In case you need a reminder, heat advisory in effect, kicking in at noon today. That will remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. 106 are expected high today under mostly sunny skies. Winds will be out of the northeast, 5 to 15 miles per hour. And I think it was Jennifer, actually. Now I said Steve, but Jennifer, you may have noticed, she said no talk of rain. Yeah, I don't see it either. Partly cloudy for tonight. Overnight low is 72. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For Friday, sunny, 104 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10 in the morning, 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Friday night, I think you're okay. No coats needed for football Friday, no matter where you're going, Artesia, or if you're going to Lovington, or you're going to be here at the Wool Bowl, doesn't matter, or Carlsbad, actually. Either way, I think you'll be good. But for tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 70. South winds 10 to 15. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. So a little breeze. That might be your friend on Friday, actually. We'll see. For your Saturday, sunny and hot. 102 for a high. Southeast winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Sunday, sunny and 101. And then looking at Monday of next week, 99 for a high. Tuesday of next week, 95 for a high. And I don't want to get you all too excited, but there is a 20% chance of rain Tuesday night and a 30% chance on Wednesday. So that is almost a week away, and you know how weather goes. That'll probably disappear by Monday or Tuesday of this week. But if you need a little glimmer of hope, look out about Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. You might get a little glimmer there. All right, it is 7:16. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Brian Luck, superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, will join us on the other side. Don't go away.
More than 50 million Americans live with chronic pain. If you're experiencing pain that interferes with your daily life, Artesia General Hospital can help. Dr. Casey Della Barca and our compassionate team of providers treat a variety of conditions, including arthritis, back and neck pain, migraines, neuropathy, and more. We offer advanced procedures and comprehensive therapy, and we personalize treatment plans to help you get back to living a quality life. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/pain.
Hi everyone, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here, you know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses, and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Fall classes at ENMU Roswell start August 21st. Register now on campus or online. Whether you're a new student, retiring student, or want to learn a new skill or trade, we have the programs and financial aid to support you every step of the way. Take classes during the day, evening, or online. Talk with an advisor today. Call 575-624-7294 or log on to roswell.enmu.edu.
ENMU Roswell.
Ho! It's the 15th anniversary of Artesia Chamber of Commerce's Clay's Crusher Fun Shoot. The longest-running shoot at the Eddy County Shooting Range is set for Saturday, August 26th. Here's a great opportunity to network, reduce stress, and have some fun along the way. All ages are welcome. There are 2 rotations, one at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. $150 per shooter per rotation. Sponsorships are available. Registration fee includes Target, lunch, sponsored this year by Snowwell Services, a shooter gift, and a chance to win great prizes. For information, call the Artesia Chamber at 575-746-2744. The Clay's Crusher Fun Shoot, Saturday, August 26th in Artesia, New Mexico. Ad paid for by Artesia and Eddy County Lodgers Tax. Sign up online at artesiachamber.com.
It's upgrade season at Roswell Honda. Pre-owned vehicles are in incredibly high demand, and that means more than ever before for your trade. And with the Roswell Honda upgrade program, they'll go the extra mile for you. They'll buy your vehicle outright, or you can trade up, even if you still owe money on your old vehicle. Upgrade to something new, or take the instant cash. And with 0.9% APR available, lease a 2023 Honda Civic or CR-V for just $259 a month. Now's the time to upgrade and save at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from, the Roswell Independent School District, Superintendent Brian Luck back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing? You got all your hair. You look pretty happy, so I'm guessing first couple weeks of school going okay here for everybody, and no major issues. Everything's working relatively smooth as it can be for the first week of school.
Well, until you just said all of that, yes, it was actually going really, really well. No, we had a really good start to our school year.
Good.
All the teachers that I visited with had, they would come up and they're like, I don't want to say anything, but this has been really good.
Good.
And I said, well, it's okay to say that, because that we'll have good days and bad days, but no, we got off to a really good start.
Yeah.
And it felt really good.
Sure. Well, it's one, and part of me, I think it's that we're just 1 year farther away from COVID, 1 year closer to just feeling like our normal job again. And this school year, I think even last year was a little COVID-y, not, as much as the year before, but like, we may get through this whole year and not have to worry about talking about even COVID. We're just talking about school stuff and curriculum and sports schedules and all the things we normally talk about during the school year.
Well, I made a comment to my administrators yesterday. We had a meeting, and I said, it will never be like it was the day before COVID.
Yeah.
And it's never going to be like it was the day after COVID. So here we are. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And, they were pretty receptive to it. And most everybody kind of felt the same way. Is like, okay, if this is what normal now looks like, we'll deal with it and move forward.
Sure.
But again, the further you can get from that,
sure,
the better it feels.
And we can get talking the whole just pontificate about this stuff, but in school, there's got to be contact. There's got to be that human interaction. Mm-hmm. There's got to be that one-on-one, and COVID really avoided or wouldn't let us do that.
Right.
And especially when you get to that years where you're really developing those reading and math skills that they're going to sit with them the rest of their lives, you need that FaceTime. You need that. I mean, even learning to speak and to pronounce words, they got to visually see the mouth so they can see how the mouth moves. And so teachers really had a struggle, especially the younger students. And so for that just to go away is a game changer for them to really get in there and teach with these kids. And
And I think I would argue that's probably the biggest thing we missed in all of the COVID stuff, is that fact that we couldn't be one-on-one and interact and all, because that's where the real light bulb moments happen in teaching. That's just how it happens.
When you don't realize all of the things that are done before you get them, if like whatever grade you're at, it's the grades prior to that. But when you take all of the little things away and then they get to you, and then it's like, well, what happened here? What happened there? So it was a neat opportunity. I mean, there's some, I don't want to say there's some good that came out of it, but there's some,
I would say yes.
Some realization that it really does take a process to get you from starting point to finishing point.
Yeah, well, and this is, love it, hate it, whatever the saying is, it is very true. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and that's in essence what COVID did. We got beat down. Ain't nothing to say about that. But you know what? We got up off the mat, and now I think we're a better school district at the end of the day because of what we went through. Now, that being said, I don't want to do it again, or I didn't want to do it in the first place. But now we're a couple years past it. I think it made us a better community because of that. At least
I think so.
You know what I mean? A better, stronger district.
But I agree with you. I'd just like to cross that off my bucket list.
And don't get me wrong, I want to do it again, but it's life. You always hear people and they say, "Would you change? If you had a chance to do it over again, would you change?" And a lot of people, when you get to a little older, and you're thinking, "Yeah, to gonna be young, the fountain of youth," but a lot of people are like, "No," because what I went through is what made me who I am, and I don't know if I want that. What if I don't? What if I do it different this time? Am I going to be the same person? So there's something to all that, and that's what I'm kind of getting at with all that. So, but anyway, moving on here. We did have a school board meeting. Now they're different nights now. So if you've been trying to go to the second Tuesday of the month, it might be a little dark there.
It could be,
depending on what's going on. It might be a busy night still.
So we're having them on the second Monday of every month.
Yes,
and there were a couple of reasons behind that. One, we were looking so that we could actually let board members and us, my staff, attend a lot of our sporting events. I'll be blunt, and music and different things are on Tuesdays. We traditionally don't have a lot on Mondays, just because we don't.
Yeah, and so Wednesday's a bad idea because that's church night for many
We're
people.
trying to stop. We've had to do some stuff on Wednesdays, and that's been kind of interesting. But no, so we've moved it over to the second Monday of every month, and they've been good.
Although I would dare say, especially when we get into like basketball season and stuff, that's going to free up to go to some games, because usually they play a lot on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
We do
for basketball.
We do, and there was a Goddard Roswell game last year that we had a pretty lengthy board meeting, and it was like I'm sitting there and I'm trying really hard not to look at the live stream from your radio station.
I think you just put it up anyway. It's like, hey, you put it there. We got to get our business done, but don't stare too long.
That's exactly right. But, no, it does. It frees up some stuff, and it's again, it's a day earlier, and we do our diligence. We get it posted in the paper, and we post it on our website.
Sure.
So, but
second Monday of the month. So, and again, you're more than welcome. And if you missed it because of that, you can always go back to the RSD's website. You'll find a link to the last school board meeting and several years worth there.
You bet.
So you can go back and check it out. So, but we did have a meeting here on the second Monday of this month, which was not earlier this week. It was anyway. Was this? I got a feeling like when you get here, like the board meetings are a little quieter now because it's all boots on the ground stuff going. The planning, the curriculum, the deciding what books and all that stuff. It's all been done now. Is now focusing on the next year for the board, really, or is it still this year stuff?
A little bit. We've still got some cleaning up some business stuff just because it's that time of the year.
Yeah.
We ended our fiscal year in July. This is August. We had some bars and some stuff that we had to finalize and get board approval for. But no, in general, it is. It's a report out on how the school year has started, and then it is okay. What do we want to focus on as a board? What do we want to tell the superintendent to push for to make sure that he's doing his diligence. So I appreciate that from my school board. I've got a great group that I work with, and we started off with something different this time. We actually had an overview, so we took a grade overview. So this time it was first grade.
Okay,
and we had representatives from my team come in and say, okay, so for first grade, this is what we do as far as our curriculum. This is what we do as far as our assessments. These are the vacancies that we have right now. This is how we support first grade with this department or that department. It was actually pretty cool because
it's kind of giving a report on how the sausage is made for the first graders.
Yeah, and it gave them a chance instead of hearing just acronym after acronym, and but to bring it down and to drill it into a grade and to say, okay, so when I hear that, that's what that means.
Sure,
and
it's the boots on the ground side, not the philosophy or you know what I mean. It's like, hey, we talk philosophy here. Now we're seeing the results of the philosophy in action, basically.
Right. We did introduce. I have 3 new principals. This year I have two principals and an assistant principal. I have Katie Cooper over at Military Heights Elementary School. We stole her from Hagerman. Rosalba Mendoza, who was an assistant at Roswell High School, is now promoted up, and she is the principal at Roswell High School. Super excited to have her there. Wish Mr. Carrasco good luck in his new endeavors. And then Heather Baca, who was a teacher there at Roswell High, was actually selected by a team from Roswell High to be their new assistant principal. So got them in and welcomed them on board, and they've hit the ground running. I promise you, running as fast as they can.
Absolutely.
So,
and it's nice to have. I mean, sure, you appreciate the leadership you have too, but sometimes it's nice to get a fresh set of eyes in there, and especially someone that came from another district sometimes, because now they can say, well, I've experienced this. Maybe we can incorporate some of that in here, and vice versa. Wow, we should be doing this over there. You know what I mean? It really is that a good time to really assess and see how we're doing when you have a fresh set of eyes coming in and look at that.
And it's really neat. I'm part of a group of superintendents that's in the southeast: Clovis, Hobbs, Carlsbad, Jow, Eunice, Hagerman, Lake Arthur, Dexter, and we meet once a month. And we all stay as connected as possible, and there's a lot of movement back and forth between with certain people that will have to move because of a job or their husband's job or their wife's job, and it is neat. It's always fun to get a different perspective and visit with somebody and say, well, no, you were here. How did they do it there?
Sure.
So, I mean, because that's one of the neat things about education is I don't think anybody's figured out how to put Genie back in a bottle. And so you should always be looking and always be trying to figure out better ways to do things.
Absolutely. And as we all have learned, especially in the last 10 years or so, the lay of the land changes pretty quickly on you sometimes. And you've got to be have the ability to adapt or you're going to drown. And so
quickly.
And so this is all part of helping that process sometimes is staying relevant, staying ahead of the curve here. And that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
You got to put in the time to do that.
Yeah. One of the other updates that the board had asked for too, which I don't know why we haven't been doing this on a year-to-year basis, was for handbook updates. So we do a really good job of past practices, and most of the members, most of my veterans on the school board could almost quote, line by line some of the policies that we had that we've used for years, the cell phone policy or dress code or different things like that. So we asked our schools to give us just a kind of a cheat sheet for, okay, what did you change?
Right.
Is there something that changed? And one of the big ones that did change was 3 of our mid schools, Mountain View, Sierra, and Mesa, have started allowing the kids to wear college T-shirts or shirts, not jerseys, but they can wear like a shirt. So there's a program called AVID, and one of their things is if you go into any of the schools that are using AVID, it's college. There's pennants everywhere. There's they're really promoting the kids going to school. So
and I think it also puts the bee in the bonnet. You should be thinking about college right now, and
they do.
And when you're younger, middle school, where you still got a few years before you got to make that decision, you can kind of look and that's where you say, oh, great, I got a Notre Dame T-shirt, or I got a Penn State T-shirt, or I got a Harvard T-shirt, or I got a UNM T-shirt, whatever it is,
Well, then the thought there is if we allow that, and it's fairly basic, so. That was something because a lot of the board, well, if you go here, you can only wear a school shirt. If you go here, you can only do this. If you go there, you can only do that.
Sure.
So
something standardized. Maybe.
Let them know about that so that they're good to go there. And then just any of the other changes that we've had and small ones. Nothing out of the ordinary. But we did make the commitment to the board that when and if we change bigger things, that we wouldn't just put it in a handbook and say, well, people can read that we would make sure that we brought that back to the board. And they were very appreciative of that. one of our safety updates this month was reminding our parents, school zones are being enforced. I was driving through Del Norte school zone yesterday, and I saw a Roswell police officer. Thank you.
Yep.
And he had backed into his spot, and he was unraveling the cord for his radar gun, and we really do appreciate that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. Parents, the life's going, but we can't mess around in these school zones because one complacent person is all it takes for a tragedy. So we got to, please, I know some of you are probably like mad when you get hit in these things, but it's for the safety of your kids and everyone else's kids. And 5 minutes of delay is much better than the consequences of not doing that.
And for most of my life, I have driven through 2 school zones to get to work. I've lived pretty much in 2 basic areas all of my life, and I think a lot of it is you forget.
Yep.
And you get to that point where I don't think a lot of people really
you're
intend.
30 and then it drops down to 15. You're like, whoa.
And you do have to think differently.
Sure.
And again, that's one of the benefits of living in I don't want to say a smaller town, but a smaller town where people still remember, and that's what we've talked about that in the past about the ebb and flow of the year. School starts, and there's little things that you do. I don't really want to go through there because that is a nightmare at this time of day. So
right.
you're
avoid it. Yeah.
You're going to avoid. Well,
we all got those. Yeah.
In the new job, I'm like, I have to go through there because I have to see the nightmare.
That's my destination.
That's my destination. So, but we wanted again to remind people, and then too, we've got a lot of fire drills going on right now. The state statute says 1 a month for the first month of school. And we're not, we've got this. We have to do them.
Sure.
So,
it's the beginning of the year. There's things you got to do. You got to get the kids into the routine.
Right.
And there's certain things you have to do. And one of them is, God forbid, if there's ever a fire, you got to make sure these kids know where to go and what to do if that event happens. So, yes, the fire drill that you did when you were a kid 100 times is the same fire drill they're doing now 100 times.
Yeah. One is training. We've got a phenomenal security liaison that is our head person for school safety, and he has beat that into our heads for good reason. You're former military, that you respond. You don't have to act because you've trained on it so many times. And
the moment you let your guard down is the moment the tragedy happens. That's unfortunately the way it goes. So that's why security people are always like, always, and to the point of you're ready to punch them in the face, always. But that's their mindset, that's their job,
right.
and they're not wrong.
Well, you can plan for a disaster, but they generally don't call them planned disasters.
Exactly.
So it again, we just would ask that as parents recognize and talk to your kiddos about it.
Sure.
Hey, it's the first of the year. They're gonna ring a fire bell, and the teachers. We've changed the way we do it. There isn't any more. I got you. If we're really going to practice, we don't do that in any other sport, where you go out there and you say, I think I'm going to try to catch them screwing up so that I can really harp on them. You coach, you teach, and you learn how to do it correctly so that in the event that you need to do it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to compliment LJ Harrell, who is our guy. And that was his philosophy when he came in. He said, we announce it. The drills we announce, we talk to them, we train.
Sure.
He says this. Says you'd be stupid to do the "I got you" moment on something that will save their life one day. And I was like,
and that's something too is you also have to realize that the training that's going on is not just for your kids. Yes, the kids are being there to know where they need to go and all that stuff. But there's a lot of protocol the teachers and things have to do as far as reporting, collecting, and making sure everyone's accounted for. When you have 300, 400, 500, 600 people in a building. It takes a few minutes to make sure all of them are accounted for. And so that process takes a minute, but it's a streamlined process. So the teachers have to practice it as much as the students have to know where they need to be in an event like this. But, because the emergencies are going to be happen when when one kid's missing.
Right.
And so that training is very important for that. That's why I just want to break. It's not just for the kids. It's really so everybody. So God forbid one of these things happen. There's kind of your brain kicks an automatic pilot. Okay, we got to do this, and this.
And the teachers have done a great job. And I can hear some of my veteran teachers right now. I didn't sign up for this, and I kind of laugh because I'm just like, well, yeah, you did, but you didn't know it.
Yeah,
it's like, and then that's usually where I'll hit with this man, and I so much appreciate that for that you did because again there's a lot of trust that goes on in our business, and we don't take that lightly. So we're going to continue to train. Again, just my reminder for my parents, when you get to the doors, they're going to be locked. So please plan ahead. It's not the secretary's fault that things have happened in the world. So just try to take, if you get to the door and you can feel it, take 2 or 3 deep breaths, and then let's try to go from there.
I would argue this: if you're supposed to be there and have a need to be there, and you're right, you have zero problems. You just talk. It's when people that, and this is unfortunately what the district has to deal with. Families and things have issues, and so sometimes a dad or someone that wants to come and get a kid that legally can't, and so they've got to be very on guard for that stuff. And I mean, forget all the shooters and all that stuff. There's that side of it too. So all this is part of that.
When I get tickled, if I go to a school to pick up my kids, I will follow all the process. I have a key, and I could call, and I know the secretaries by name, but I don't do that because I was like, you know what? When it's my turn to be dad, that's how I'm going to ask for them to come out. I'll follow the process. I take my ID, and I hand it to the either the office aide or to the secretary,
and that's kind of a lead by example. And because if parents see you just cutting in, then automatically they're going, well, why can't I do that and all that? And so you're like, I'm going to avoid all that. And I do it this way because I expect parents to do it. I'm going to do it myself that way.
Well, and sometimes I can't follow my own advice because I've been late to more than one doctor appointment, and not because of what the school's done, but because I didn't get there in enough time.
Sure, you so meetings and things.
That's why I'm always trying to harp on that one.
Sure, but please be patient. Recognize. There is a purpose and reason for why it's done that way, and if you understand that, I think you're going to be a little bit more patient with that process.
I know we'll sure appreciate it.
Yeah, and you understand that it's all for the benefit of your kids. That's what all of this is about. You may not like every move, but it's to protect your children. Right. And quite frankly, we'll take you being mad at us over a lapse in protecting your kids.
Absolutely. And we're getting good at that, so they're getting mad at us. So. Now, had quite a few out-of-state travel requests. So we've got Roswell High FFA, Roswell High Band looking to go out of state. So again, it's board policy. If you're gonna leave the state line, or if you're crossing state lines for anything, which kind of cracks me up because Denver City is maybe 2 hours away.
Right.
I mean, and we've got a big
lines
festival.
Make things weird sometimes, don't they?
Well, but I can go to Farmington, and I don't have to have any kind of approval.
Which is an 8-hour trip.
Yeah, but what it does is it gives the board an opportunity to recognize, that's usually a pretty big deal if you're crossing state lines.
Yeah, I would say I think it's a good thing that they do it because it puts everything on the radar and it says, hey, look at our FFA guys, they're going to compete. Right. Look at our band students, they're going to compete.
So we got FFA going to nationals in our band. We've got multiple competitions that occur. So we've got one. I think we've got one in Amarillo. We've got one in Denver City. Goddard and Roswell High both go over to those.
Okay.
Goddard's going to go down to Corpus Christi for perform on the USS Lexington in May.
Oh, cool!
I mean,
what a cool opportunity.
They've all got some neat things. Roswell High Band's going to try to go to Branson, Missouri. Well, they're going to go. I mean, they're raising money. It's
nice,
and so we got those.
Maybe
approved.
they go to the Yakov Smirnoff Theater
if you say dinner. So. if you say so, I'll let you talk to them, and I'm sure they can put that on their to-do list. I had another one. We had an employee of ours that was out looking for grants, different things in our maintenance department.
Okay.
And she actually found us an NMDOT grant to help us with some parking lot work.
Sweet.
So it's like you pull into Goddard and Roswell High, and sometimes it's like the surface of the moon. And that's a big expense. I mean, you don't think about that until...
Ask the city and the county about road department expenses.
I will not. I will not. I'm just tickled
pink.
They'll
agree with you.
I'm just tickled pink that we received a grant, and it's an 80-20 grant where we're going to be on the hook for about 20% of the work.
I love people that are good at finding free money. That's a good thing.
Oh my goodness, and it will be really, really nice when that does happen. So we're super excited about that. We do have an auction coming up. We think it's in October.
Okay.
So our deleted and obsolete material, and those are always fun times.
Sure.
I mean, we have it at Edgewood. My apologies to the neighborhood of Edgewood, but it does show the community that we're following the process.
Mm-hmm.
If it's obsolete or if it's no longer in need. there's a lengthy paperwork process that goes with it. We get it over there, we process it, and then it goes up for auction.
Sure.
Like it's supposed to. We make sure that we hit all of our
I'm kind of curious,
processes.
as collectors, what kind of folks are into buying that kind of stuff? I'm just curious.
It's just a different, it's just different things for different items.
Yeah. I imagine maybe someone's doing homeschool or something. There might be some good information there that's useful, but I don't know. I'm just kind of curious what, other than collecting, I don't know what.
Scrap. There's a lot of material inside. The one that got me a few years ago was the copper. And you would bid on a block of outdated computers.
So they can strip it down for parts.
They do, but the neat thing about it, or the crazy thing about it, is the people that go to those know exactly what it's worth.
Okay.
And that's what caught my attention. I mean, the bidding is just going crazy, and then it hit a spot, and everybody just stopped, and I was like, almost like somebody said something, and I asked our maintenance supervisor, and he says at that point it's done. It's no longer profitable. And I was like, well, there you go. No, I can tell you, 99% of the time, if there's something over there, we've used it to its max. I mean,
yes. Anytime you've gone to a government auction in any way, whether it's state or federal or local or school or anything like that, you're getting the equipment that's got hundreds of thousands of miles on it, or you know what I mean? It's stuff that they've used for years and years. It's maintained meticulously.
Right.
But it's not the new stuff.
Well, and one of the things that we've continued to make sure we press our buildings on is, teacher needs this, teacher needs that. Well, make an appointment, go to Edgewood and see if they have something.
Gotcha.
We're trying really hard to make sure that, you don't walk in there and go, well, there's 30 of this, and why did you buy a brand new one? We want to make sure that we're doing our diligence with taxpayer dollars, and that's a big deal. I mean, and have had people come back and go, "Do you know what's over there?" And I'm like, "Well, get it, And again, it's a transfer process.
One man's trash, another man's treasure.
We'll get it on our list, and we'll just not even look back, And
Sure.
it frees up that money to go for something else. So,
sure. And to be honest, if this stuff's useless and to the school district, it probably costs money to keep it around rather than get rid of it. You know what I mean? So it's probably more expensive to have it on hand because it's taking up space or taking up, whatever, than for them to just say, you know what, let's sell it off for cheap on the dollar. We get a little cash for the curriculum, and it's we've washed our hands of the computer. We don't have to deal with it anymore.
Well, and I tell you what, this one will be an interesting auction. We've been very fortunate in the last few years because of a lot of the federal money that's come through. Where we could replace some things and update. And when I say update, that would probably mean maybe some of the stuff that was updated might have a little more life left in it than what I would say would be a traditional
I imagine
auction.
especially security and construction stuff that you had to do a little upgrading on things for some of these vestibules and stuff like that over the years. I imagine there's a lot of stuff in there that no good because of the missions changed, but are still good for another mission.
and would be. So as we get closer to that, I will make sure that we get a PSA out for you guys so that we can get that advertised. Other than that, just some regular business. We had a couple policies that came through for first readings. Nothing major with that. A couple construction updates for everybody. Mesa Middle School is just coming right along.
Nice.
If you haven't been by there, you're out on a Sunday drive, you got a little time to kill, go on by. You can actually see where the front is going to be.
Nice. What's the plan for that to be next school year, or is it later than that? Or
well, no, we're hoping
or before that.
We're hoping before that.
Okay.
So and our contractors have they've been working as hard as they can.
Sure.
So they've.
Well, I know construction. There is never a construction project that is completed on the date they anticipated it because of weather and everything else that happens. I've never heard of one start early.
Well,
but I was just ballparking.
Why did you have to ruin that for me? I had high hopes that I was going to be let in on the day. No, but I will say this: the crew that we've got over there right now, and with the subcontractors that they're using, which I would assume is probably standard operating procedure for most projects like that. When they run into that, they go to a different part, and they've just done a really good job. We've been able to maintain school on that same setting.
Good.
Our parents, double hats off to our parents for allowing the process to work itself through. We've got the majority, all of our kids are in what I'm going to call as the new building right now. And then we'll wrap up the office part of it, hopefully as soon as possible, mid-year-ish. That's going to be a pretty good push. I drove by there just the other day. Our athletic fields, our grass is coming in.
Nice.
We're trying to stay off
Green
of
side
it.
up.
Yeah, we're trying to stay off of it for just a little bit longer so that it'll take before we let the football kids get on it. And then we'll be moving on to Nancy Lopez. So we've have a meeting with the state. We're waiting on one last piece of paper before we can take to the board the official, yes, we own the property. We got it with all of the everything, the T's crossed and the I's dotted. And then the board gets to vote officially to put Nancy Lopez behind Mesa, and then we can, the ball's off and running on that one once that one gets going.
Well, and people need to understand, and I think if you've lived on this earth for 30, 40 years, you probably already get this, but government operations move glacial. It doesn't matter what government operation it is, because of transparency, because of a lot of people need to see stuff and things before something gets greenlit. No project that's in a government, whether it's school board or federal, state, local government, all of that's slow. So it sounds like, in the government terms, this is actually going pretty quick.
Well, and
for all things considered,
it is, and again, I cannot thank our local people enough for helping to get that across and working together to pull that project off. I mean, what a neat testament to what happens when people work together, and I appreciate that, because I don't want to give the impression that we've run into brick walls. It's just everything has to be spot on when you're working with that, from every survey, every this, every that, and we believe we've got it.
Well, and it has to be this way when millions of dollars are involved. We thank God most of us are upstanding people, but there's always the one person, and because of the one person, we have to be very transparent, very just on top of it. So a lot of it, where the frustration in time is because if we just streamline it through, it opens us up for nefarious stuff, and that's why we don't do it.
I don't want to walk over there and be looking at a brand new building that we can't go into because it's tied up in litigation. So we should be good with that. But that's an update on where Nancy Lopez is.
Well, excited here in. Whenever it's ready, we'll be very excited to have it.
Oh, heck yeah. Just trying to get everything done. We've got a couple projects coming up down the road. Talk a little bit more about that whenever they start coming up.
And I will tell you this, and this is because my wife she's 20, this is her 26th year of teaching now she's gone into. So I've seen this district for a long time. I've been married to her 20. We just had her 22 years. So 4 years she was on her own, but the other 22 I was around for. And I will say this. I moved here in 2000, around the time, my wife and I had all that. We met when I was in the Air Force for the story, but just to make the timeline sync up here. I've seen this school district for 20 plus years. Some of y'all have seen it a lot longer than I have. But I can tell you this, from my wife's perspective, from what I've seen, when it comes to construction and building and upgrading the amenities and facilities of the Roswell Independent School District, we are 1,000 times better than we were 20, 30 years ago. The money, the thing, we've been kind of paying for it because of that lack. Our schools got way behind, and we spent literally the last 20 years either remodeling or rebuilding almost every school in this district, just about, and some needed it more than others, and now we're at the point where we're fixing the really bad ones, the ones that were just. And now we're at the point where we got them to be where they're supposed to be.
So the state ranks our schools as far as the facilities, and so through the PSCOC and the PSFA, Public School Finance Association, we've actually been able to partner, and that's where once the ball really started rolling. So, and I know Mike Gottlieb hates when I do this, but I cannot thank Mike and the board at that time enough for their vision that said, let's start doing these things.
These are the ones that saw the writing on the wall.
And they started the process, and the ball's rolling. And you're right, we're just about through a construction process. So you segue. You've got Mountain View, Nancy Lopez, Mountain View, Washington Avenue, and then that will be all of the mid schools and the elementary schools, and then we've got the two big ones that we get to look at, and it has been a very good process. The rules have not changed a lot, but it's a testimony to the community for supporting our bonds.
Sure, absolutely.
And that's coming down the road, so that's another day.
We'll be back here in a couple months.
We'll be back coming up.
You'll see General Grizzle and Dr. Powell and
yes, sir.
Of course, Brian here.
Yes, sir.
We'll be out and about hitting the streets.
And I will throw a shameless plug in there. If you have an organization, I want to get in front of you.
Yeah.
And
now here's the thing. Technically, these guys aren't allowed to tell you to vote on it. They can't tell you to vote yes.
I'm just asking to vote.
I can. Vote yes on it. I don't work for the schools. Vote yes on it. This is the reason why our libraries and our schools get funding. And it doesn't cost extra money. This is, we've already been factored in. But every year we need to get the public's approval on these things.
Right.
It's usually three of them. The senior centers stuff is usually for the seniors. The libraries, and that's public and school libraries. And, of course, your schools, your institutions, including your higher learning institutions as well. And each district or each entity earmarks money, kind of like that's why when you'll hear a General Grizzle come and say, "Hey, were we doing the dorms or were we doing some security lighting out at the college?" This bond usually is earmarked for a specific project or something within the district, and so it is very important for you to just say yes. It doesn't cost you anything, but it's going to continue to make sure we have good facilities and good amenities for our students long after these kids are graduating.
Well, and you're talking legacy things, and I go back to Mr. Gottlieb and all of the superintendents that have come before me. I mean, those were legacies. When you drive through our town and you go past Del Norte, and realize that construction project, although that's our other than Mount Mesa, that's one of our newest ones. That process started 7-8 years ago to get that ball rolling, or Missouri Avenue, or El Capitan, or insert brand new school, whatever we're going to call, in a brand new Nancy Lopez. Start to finish, brand new Nancy Lopez, and then those kids will transition into
the golfer, by the way, the school. Just in case y'all were wondering, tune it in. She's still the same.
True, and I'm gonna work with some people here in town. I bet you when we do get brand new Nancy Lopez School open, I bet you we might be able to get her there for that. But so that our kiddos, especially in that particular zone, we're going to go to Nancy Lopez, brand new. Then we're going to go to Mesa, which is the second newest school, and then on into Roswell Higher to Goddard. You can't do it without the community, and we're at that spot now where you have fewer schools that haven't been done. So we get the opportunity to say, "Hey, we're almost done."
Yeah.
We need to finish.
Absolutely. I just saw we're about 5 minutes. Is there any other thing we definitely need to make sure we get on?
Yes, sir.
The radar?
I just the two things real quick, and I'll start with the quickest one. So, just a reminder to our fans at the ball games, we have switched over to a digital platform. You can still come to the game with cash. But we are encouraging everybody to try to transition over to the digital platform.
This is how it's going to be from the future. We're in the transition now.
Everywhere else you go, they do this.
NMAA does it this way, and they're kind of lining in concert with how they do it.
Right, and so, but I still think the best way to get to a ball game is to purchase a ticket, an activity pass, and you can do that through the app.
Okay.
You can come down to central office, and we can help you with that.
Okay.
And that still is without a doubt the best value. If you're going,
that's kind of like a season ticket.
It's a season ticket, and you can go. You can do specific school tickets. You can do all sports. If you're going to go to football games, both schools, and basketball, buy the all sport. You will save money,
and you're really supporting the programs because that money does go back to the school curriculum, the programs, and things like that. So by you kind of pre-ordering and just hitting it with a lump, that actually makes the school happy because that does put the money in the coffers to help for boosters and everything else.
Unless it's a tournament game, popcorn tournament and or district. Or
then that money goes a little different.
Well, then those tickets aren't good, but for your general games, they all work.
Yeah. So please, and again, call the district office or if you have any issues, questions, any of that kind of stuff.
That's
I know
right.
it's going to be a little confusing these first couple of weeks while we all kind of get the new system in, but have a and call schools too. That the principals will be or the staff will be happy to. If you're like, hey, I want to go to the game. I heard that you can't. What do I got to do? And they'll be happy to explain it to you and tell you how to do all that.
Yes, sir.
I imagine there's probably if you go to the RSD website, there's probably a link there where you can read up on how to do all this stuff.
Absolutely, and we'll have ways to help at the games. We have JV football today, JV and freshman football today, so it's going to be kind of a trial dry run for us. But we're looking forward to it, and again, it's the direction everybody else is going.
Absolutely,
and we've kind of fought this one off about as long as we can.
Yeah, now it's like, all right, you got to do something.
Right.
So. Anything else?
Hats off to our summer meal program. Total summer breakfast 74,625. Total summer lunches 75,069.
Amazing. And they had a great because they had 5 different locations throughout the summer that you go to. Plus, both high schools had the grill, so you could kind of get a burger or something like that.
And it was only 275 degrees in those parks, and those ladies out there diligently with their little shade that they had from this, from central office, and just thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank your food service folks.
Yes.
I don't care if it's RSD, Hagerman, Deck, whatever it is. The folks that do that, they and during COVID, those folks really did some Herculean stuff. Man. And they kind of sit in the shadows in the radar. They're under the radar a little bit. And thank those. We always have the lunch lady, images, and Adam Sandler didn't help any of that. No. But those folks, without their efforts, we'd be SOL.
Well, yes, like we just said that, and that's. I mean, you're 3/4 of a way to 100,000 meals.
Yeah. That's
twice. So that is,
and they do it every day.
Every day.
Oh, it's crazy.
Every day.
So thank those workers.
Absolutely.
Thank those folks. If you have any questions about anything, you can always check out the RSD website. Go back and watch the meetings there. Come on out to the football games. Don't watch them on video if you can go to the game. Save that for your out-of-town friends and family, or watch it after the game. But if you can get your butt to the Wool Bowl for Goddard here, or if you're going to, I know Lovington, maybe that's a little trip for Coyotes. We'll have that for you. But if you want to follow the buses and maybe put a little red in that sea of blue, that'll be good.
We'll be safe on that road. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in Lovington, it's not that far. And if you're a little late, please. I mean that Tatum to Roswell corridor on a Friday night, just please be careful.
Again,
please.
Yes.
Maybe
we need to put some school lights out there.
I won't say another word. Just please be careful. We want to get you to the ball game, get you back.
Yeah.
And again, Lovington uses a digital platform as well. So if you're on your way over there, get the phones out, get those tickets purchased so that you can get on in there and get to watching your football.
And if you ever want to stare at a blue field for 3 hours, come on out. Friday night, you get to stare at a blue field. That still kind of freaks me out, blue turf. I don't know about it. It's just different.
Look at the time.
You're right. You're listening to 106 Live. Roswell's talking.
Tomorrow.
They're not expecting it to hit the city anytime soon. They say if there's no rain, then it could reach the outskirts of the city by this weekend. But there's also been, these fires have been acting very unpredictably. They've been moving at greater speeds than people have expected. Again, they've been going around fire breaks or going over them, basically.
The BBC's Luke Carroll in Yellowknife. North Carolina Republican lawmakers have overridden a handful of their Democrat governor's vetoes, saying no to transgenderism in the process.
North Carolina's Republican-controlled General Assembly voted to override Governor Roy Cooper's veto of legislation banning medical professionals from providing hormone therapy, puberty-blocking drugs, and surgical gender transition procedures to minors. North Carolina now becomes the 22nd state to enact legislation restricting or banning the procedures for minors. The veto override was one of several Wednesday. Keith Peters reporting.
The Fulton County, Georgia DA pushing for former President Trump's arraignment to take place early next month, and she's asking for Mr. Trump's trial to begin March 4th. Former president contends the timing is aimed at disrupting his presidential campaign. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 92 points, the NASDAQ 12 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
The migrants are missing and presumed dead after their boat was found drifting off the Atlantic island nation of Cape Verde.
Rescuers found 38 survivors, including children as young as 12. Also on board were the remains of 7 people who had died in the crossing. But on the 10th of July, 101 people had set off from Senegal. It's not known what happened to the other 56. Senegalese officials are said to be working to repatriate the survivors. Cape Verde is en route to the Spanish Canary Islands, often used as a gateway to Europe. At least 559 people died trying to make the journey last year.
The BBC's Joe Inwood. Norway's central bank hiking its key interest rate a 0.25 percentage point to fight inflation. The bank is increasing the rate to 4%. That's the highest level since 2008. Says inflation has edged down but remains high and markedly above the target of 2%. News and analysis. Townhall.com. More controversy surrounding a police raid on a small-town newspaper in Kansas and the home of its owner and publisher.
Marion County's attorney says that police should return seized material to a weekly newspaper that was raided by officers in a case that has drawn national scrutiny of press freedoms. Joel Ency said in a news release that his review found insufficient evidence to establish a legally sufficient nexus between the alleged crime and the places searched and the items seized. Even without the computers, cell phones, and other equipment taken in the raid, the new edition of the Marion County Record made it to newsstands Wednesday. The front page headline, Seized, but not silenced. I'm Shelley Adler.
The co-owner of a home that exploded in western Pennsylvania last weekend has died from injuries suffered in the blast. The death toll there now is 6. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. The deuce. There you go. Went on 3. I was trying to see which Mike he's going to run for. Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope all of you are having a delightful day so far. Busy week. School going and football starting, and it's just a busy week, and everyone's gearing up into the fall and back into their fall activities, the fall grind.
There we go. As we saw it change. Good job.
And doing all of that. That's kind of who's talking to sister, who's on the ones and twos in the video.
Yes. Yes. We're in the training mode right now.
Yes. So I'm on the radio ones and twos. She's on the video ones and twos. That's an old thing. You know. It's an old radio. When you talk about your board up guy, you're like, I'm Bob Dumberber and Teddy Joe's on ones and twos. That's kind of an old thing. Anyway. Happy Thursday. Hope all of you are doing well. Yeah, I know. I get it. It feels like you got a lot going on, but take a deep breath one at a time. You'll get there. All good. We're going to replay an interview this hour. We're going to have, we were supposed to have Juanita come in for her. She usually shows up, comes in the third Thursday of the month this time to kind of give us an update, but she's a lady with a lot of different, gets pulled in a lot of different directions, so she's off doing something else this morning. So we're going to, in its place, replay our interview we had with the folks from American Legion Post 61. They joined us on Tuesday in the 9 o'clock hour, gave us an update on some of the stuff. So we'll play that for you here in just a few minutes. There's something else I was going to mention. I just don't remember what it was. Just shot out of my head, but oh well. So, oh, I know what I was going to mention. This is what it was. You got one more weekend to check out Is He Dead? This Friday, Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday at 2:30. Kim and I are going to go, because we were out of town last weekend, so we're going to go Saturday night. Matter of fact, I got to go get my tickets. You should do that too. Get your tickets online right now. Log on to the Roswell Community Theater's website, which is roswelltheater.com, and it's spelled, theater is spelled Theatre. Not like a movie theater.
Not ER.
Yeah. Which, if you do movie theater, it's the eater. So this one's RE. So,
yes.
But you got one more weekend of performances. Tickets are available at the Community Theater's website. It's a comedy. Sean, you saw it, didn't you? You went and saw it.
I did. It was so good. We're actually planning on going to see it again.
Oh, well, Kim and I are going Saturday.
Oh, nice.
You want to do a little thing?
We're planning to do the matinee, actually.
On Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
We figured we'd bookend it. Go to the first show and the last show.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Kim and I are going to go Saturday
nice.
Evening. That's the plan anyway. So, good deal.
Gracious. Sorry about all that.
Oh, you're good.
Boy, howdy.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun, but so you've seen it once. Laugh out loud funny?
It is.
Yeah.
It is slap your knee funny.
Yeah.
It's enough people I think have seen it that there's a big reveal halfway through, which it's.
Don't tell me I haven't seen it yet.
I won't say anything.
I'm going to see it Saturday.
It's absolutely, once you see it, once you realize that the actors fully commit to their roles, and I mean fully commit to their roles.
No one's dying, are they?
No.
I mean, the play's called Is He Dead?
Yeah, no.
You say fully commit.
You'll understand a lot more on Saturday evening.
Well, and here's the thing. For folks that don't know, this is actually written by Mark Twain. And it was lost, like in trunks. You know how writers and musicians and stuff have, projects that were kind of either not completed or.
And that's what it is. It wasn't complete.
Yeah.
It was an incomplete play, and somebody got a hold of it and completed it.
And if I remember right, like in recent years, well, like in the last 20, 25 years is when this all came to surface. Yep. So it's,
which is cool because you got the
new Mark Twain.
You got Mark Twain's sensibility and writing style, but there's enough modern humor in there that you're like, there's no way. There's one point where a character goes, "Guess who?"
Yeah.
Mark Twain's not going to write "Guess who." That doesn't seem like a line that Mark.
Although I would argue maybe Mark Twain was a different dude.
Was "Guess who" a turn of phrase in his time?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Mark Twain was that guy. He was the guy that...
He was the guy that turned phrases. He created them.
Yeah. I'm going to say he would say something
It's possible. It's fun, though, to watch the play and kind of go through and be like, I feel like that was more modern.
Where Mark Twain was a master, he was able to basically take a situation and turn it into something you get and understand. That was his... and he's able to take the complicated and make it simple. And he's also... He had the ability to take the pompous and turn them into idiots.
Yeah,
I mean, he had that.
He's
very sharp wit.
Keeps everybody on the same level.
So I would bet a lot of that's his brain. I would say maybe some of the modernization of language,
sure,
a little bit, But even still, in the 1880s and things, when towards the end of his life, he didn't speak like everything quotes and stuff I read. They read pretty flowy. They're not like they're not like written in old English language
style.
Exactly
necessarily. But the one cool thing I will say, and I don't think this is a spoiler so much, is it's almost like a superhero play.
Okay.
Everybody has a very specific superpower.
Okay.
It's the Zach Morris superpower.
Ooh.
The ability to time out, stop the action, and lean out and talk to the crowd.
Ooh, the third wall thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Or fourth wall,
Yep.
sorry. Yeah.
Yep,
Cool.
it's a really cool, it happens all throughout the play with different characters.
But here's the premise of the story, if you're not, just to kind of, because I was like, yeah, it's got Mark Twain, and it's called Is He Dead? Basically, this is what you need to know about the story. As you know, in the art world, when it comes to paintings and things, generally the value of the painting goes up when the artist dies. It's
true.
And so a starving artist does a plot to see if he's dead, to see if he can get, and so that's the story, and that's the premise. You know that, then you just follow the story and watch it play out, basically.
And hilarity ensues. Yeah, absolutely, it does.
But 7:30 this Friday and Saturday night, and then 2:30 on Sunday. Tickets will be available at the door, but do the Communal Theater a favor. Just go ahead and online and order them. That way, you don't have to worry about is there enough seats and all that, because it is weekend 2.
Right.
It might fill. I'm just saying they tend to be busier crowds weekend 2 than they are weekend 1, just because gets on people's radar by then.
You don't necessarily pick your seat. It is general admission, but
it doesn't matter. They're all good seats.
Get there pretty. They're great seats. Get there pretty early because, like Mike says, it will fill out. The one thing I mentioned to Chris when he came in for the interview on Monday, the lighting and the sound are second to none.
Oh,
I was so consumed by it that at points in time I almost felt like I was watching like a TV show. No, and I don't mean that as an insult, but I felt like I was watching like a glass-walled performance. Like, it was so well lit and well mic'd.
Right.
And
you're saying that like if you went to I don't know, Broadway and saw a show, the quality of the sound and lighting was on par with that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. That's awesome. Good job.
The nerd that I am, I was leaning over to my friends like, do you think it's boom mics? Do you think they got lavs on? What do you think the mic situation is?
Getting all nerdy.
Yeah. They were like, just watch the play, Sean.
Right, I get it.
It's my world. My world is sound.
I have that same problem. We get in our own head, and then we just completely miss the point of what something was sometimes because we get so enamored on one detail.
There's a song that I'm a fan of, and I've showed it to several people, but in the backbeat of the song, there's a tiny squeak, and you hear it over and over again. And it drives me crazy. To the point where if I ever get a chance to meet the artists of the song, that's the question I'm going to ask. Did you put that in there on purpose? I thought something was wrong with my car for 2 weeks.
And I'm mad a lot of those are like, no, but we found it and we said leave it in.
Right.
Musicians do stuff like that.
They do.
So.
Quirky people.
Is He Dead? Go see it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Support the Roswell Communal Theater. Get your tickets right now. RoswellTheater.com. TheAtere.
The opening salvo of the 65th season of the Roswell Communal Theater. Farce of Habit is, I believe, the next play.
That's the next one. And I think there should be auditions for that right around the corner.
I think they held auditions on Tuesday.
Okay, so
I believe they might be holding additional auditions. I'll let you know as I hear. Additional auditions.
Additional auditions is fun to say.
It is.
I feel like that should be a name of a group.
It's
We're
like
the additional auditioners.
Additional auditioners, yeah. It's kind of like how one of my favorite things to say when Crystal comes in is adorable adoptables. I love that.
Yeah, they kind of sound like collect all 4.
Yeah.
Now available at McDonald's. Oh, I saw a commercial last night.
Okay.
I think they're doing a season 2 of Loki on Disney Plus.
They are.
McDonald's
is very tied in.
In
fact, they've released the as featured in meal.
Yeah, okay.
So you have a choice of 3 different meals.
Yeah.
I caught this before I heard about the campaign.
Okay.
Because I took the kids to McDonald's over the weekend, and the cup, on the side of the cup, it says the McDonald's cup as featured in, and it has a whole list of an episode of Seinfeld.
Okay.
Several music videos. And it's the same thing with the bag.
Okay.
It tells where all of these iconic parts of the McDonald's meal.
Have you watched Loki? Did you watch the first?
I didn't, no.
I recommend it.
I want to.
I'm hit or miss in that Marvel shows. But that one I enjoyed. Okay. That one I really liked. And part of it's because
the Thor universe doesn't take itself seriously and super seriously,
and
which I love.
And I'm telling you, Luke or Owen Wilson. I always get the Wilsons mixed up. Owen Wilson is great in that show. He's that personality of Owen Wilson. You know how he is, kind of it works well in the character that he plays in that show.
See, I didn't even know he was in it.
Oh, he's the main guy. Yeah. Him and Loki are the main guys.
Okay.
That's
how little I've seen.
It's confusing because you're dealing with parallel universes, and so if you watch season 1, I'm not going to spoil it for you. There's like 1,000 Lokis.
Oh, okay.
And they're all different personality versions of Loki, and it's really funny.
Everybody is really leaning heavily into the multiverse thing. I noticed that DC is now doing it with the several different Batmans that they're introducing. Yeah. And the multiverse theory is really taking over. That's why I recommend Across the Spider-Verse, which is now available on digital. Boy, we sound like a commercial. It's so many of those. Like, you're like, there's that Spider-Man. There's Spider-Pig. You know, you're like looking around for all the different ones. Yeah. And they're each like from canon. Like, they're each like, one's from a comic book series, one's from like the older movies.
Right. Well, this one, it gets in because and I don't want to, because I can't, you just need to watch it, and I don't want to say too much because it really, but it's the way the timelines go. It's because, if I could say this, Owen Wilson's character works for basically what's kind of like the FBI, but for international timelines, kind of thing. If that makes sense.
He's a time cop.
Yeah, and so that's then you learn that why they've got to be there and what they monitor. And so there's like 6 bazillion parallel universes, and the Loki, and this one's a good one, but the Loki, you know what I mean? And so it really gets confusing, but it makes sense when you watch it. But you got to pay attention. But it's really good. It's funny. It's witty. And it is kind of smart. The Loki's one of my favorite of those spin-off TV shows. Loki's one I liked more than most.
They just launched, is it called Ashoka, I think?
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to have, oh gosh, I forgot her name, Mercedes Moné in as the main character, but it's not. It's somebody else entirely.
Okay.
But it looks interesting. It looks like it's taking itself a lot more seriously than anything else they've put out recently. Okay. Because it kind of follows along the Anakin Skywalker timeline.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the commercials. Looks good. I'm going to check it out. I just haven't yet.
Right.
I'm behind. Like, I still got to go watch the one with Samuel Jackson.
Oh yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I haven't.
But that one actually got just leveled in the ratings.
Really?
Like, people were panning it all over the place.
I like the Fury concept. I kind of want to see it.
That's his name.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me a minute to remember it too. Fury. I kind of like the concept of Fury. I'm going to check it out anyway. You might be right, but I'm still going to go ahead and put my eyeballs on it.
But I'll definitely check out Loki. Now that there's a new season, it's
yeah. Of those Marvel spin-off shows, Loki's probably one of my favorites.
I don't think it's out until October.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that.
But you can catch up on season 1 now. So I highly recommend it. Matter of fact, I might go do it just to kind of remember some of the stuff, because it's a lot to take in. It's a lot of stuff, as is most Marvel movies. But
yeah.
It is 8:20. I probably should start getting stuff going so we can get our interview in. Here's your weather. I know you don't even want to hear it. It's just going to be hot and all that, but here it is anyway.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No rain coming up for a while. We have dry air in place, and that'll allow our temperatures to heat up quite a bit today. 105 for the afternoon high and sunny. Overnight, some clouds and low 70s, and then between 100 and 105 on Friday, and we keep the sunshine. Clear Friday night. We'll stay right around the 100-degree mark both Saturday and Sunday, and mostly sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 84 here in Roswell. Humidity's at 29%. Winds are out of the west at 3 miles per hour. Heat advisory will kick in at noon today, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. Sunny, hot, 106 for a high today. North winds 5 to 10. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 72. Sunny and 104 for your Friday. West winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 70. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny and 102. Southeast winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for Saturday afternoon. Sunny and hot with a high of 101 on Sunday, and 99 and sunny when you head back to work and school on Monday. All right, 8:21. We're going to take a quick 2.5-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with the folks from American Legion Post 61. Don't go away.
Your home is your sanctuary, and the land it's built on is even more precious. So when termites start devouring your house, you want a proven treatment that's environmentally responsible. You want the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System. The Centricon system is the green way to protect homes from subterranean termites. Rather than surrounding your house with hundreds of gallons of diluted chemical solution, the Centricon system strategically uses just a few grams of active ingredient in termite bait, working with natural termite behavior to destroy termite colonies. With this technology, it's no wonder the Centricon system became the only termite treatment to receive the Presidential Green Chemistry Challenge Award from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. And homeowners rate the Centricon system as the most environmentally sound termite treatment. Your home is your sanctuary, so monitor, bait, and eliminate termites with the Centricon system. Think of it as your own little piece on Earth.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today for all of Southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344. Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today, 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Hey CVE members, have you scheduled your no-cost home energy audit? If not, it's time to sign up. Call 575-746-3571 to get your name on the list for a free home energy audit. Weather stripping, new door sweeps, minor repairs, and much more. Start saving money and keep that purchased air in your home. Central Valley Electric Cooperative is happy to partner with Green Metal Energy for this valuable audit. Again, 575-746-3571.
Are you looking for a way to serve your community? Look no further than the New Mexico Army National Guard. Whether it's disaster relief or defending our freedoms, the New Mexico Army National Guard is always ready to serve. Gain valuable skills, receive world-class training, and be a part of a team that makes a difference. Step up and become the best version of yourself. To join the New Mexico Army National Guard, call us at 1-800-GO-GUARD. That's 1-800-GO-GUARD.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion. Unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
It is. Good morning. It is 27 minutes after 9 o'clock.
Now that you've had your Star Trek briefing.
That's right. And joining us in studio this morning from American Legion Post 61 family, we have Commander Lee and Auxiliary President Jen back with us. Good morning. Good morning. Officially now, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
So I know as far as things we just had, Suns each month, and we just had our first of the month, August, for them. So you missed for this month. But they'll be doing it again here in a couple weeks for the first Saturday in September, which
provided we can find a location.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. We may not have a place that month.
Right. The church has canceled out on us. They won't let us do pancake breakfast.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think they're getting ready to do something for the kids or something.
Oh, okay. So they got their own thing that they've got going on. We're in the way.
So
makes sense.
Dawn is in negotiations with a venue here in town. We're going to see if we can utilize. I'm not going to mention who it is because until we have it locked down. But there's a place in town that is a possibility.
Okay, so we'll let you know. But if you're like, dang, those pancakes were good, and I was $5, and I ate, and I walked out of
very good.
Yeah, I ate for $5. I walked out of there hurting, eating all the food. We'll announce the new location. So for September, hopefully you can get your pancake on.
Yeah.
And
we
that's
got a lot going on between now and then. So
we do, but I know that's the big temple thing our sons really do for fundraising and stuff. And of our three entities, they're the ones that kind of need the most help in that department. So we want to put that on.
Yeah.
We want to put that on their radar. Come support the Sun's Pancake Breakfast wherever it's going to be, whenever it's going to happen again.
We'll let you know.
But thank you for coming out to our first couple here. We do appreciate it.
Very much appreciated.
And I think everyone that came, we're like, dang.
That's a lot of food for $5.
Yeah, it was really, and it was tasty, fresh made. They were in there griddling pancakes at 8 in the morning for you, getting ready to do it and doing all that. So it's really good. But anyway, we'll tell you more on that one. In the meantime, there are a couple things we do want to kind of put on people's radar here. I'll kind of let you start with the hodgepodge there, where you want to go with first.
No pressure.
Well,
I'd say... Well,
I'm supposed to be done at some point.
The big thing that we're doing right now is farmers market.
Yes, every Saturday, beginning at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Way too early. Yeah.
But I push cookies and pastries, and
yes, you do.
And currently, we have a drawing going for 2 Glocks.
I was about to say we're probably low on tickets, aren't we? We don't have a whole.
Yeah, we got a couple left.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm hoping to get them sold before I leave for Charlotte. But we got a 43X and a 41 with extra mags, so it's a 380 and a
9mm.
9mm with extra mags.
Okay.
And it's $20 a ticket or $6 for $100. Get them well.
And there's a finite of tickets sold, right?
We're only selling 250
so
tickets.
After the 200,
total.
So that's gone. That's it. We're not making more tickets.
No, we're not making any more tickets. We figure we're going to give everybody a fair shot.
Exactly.
So,
and then, if I remember right, we'll do the drawing during the Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
The last day of Eastern New Mexico State Fair, October 7th.
Which we will have a booth out in the commercial building, as we have for the last several years. And so you will come by. And if there's tickets left, then we'll auction, or sell them off then.
Here's the plan. The plan is if we can sell out these Glock tickets, we'll probably have another one for Eastern Mexico State Fair. Maybe a Henry or something like that, but we'll see.
Something a little more collectory.
Substantial.
Yeah. Yeah, then the nice thing about the set that we have is it's perfect for concealed carry.
Yeah, it's like a his and hers set.
Why I'm thinking of buying a ticket myself.
We're going to do a couple secure or
personal protection.
There you go. I kept trying to. It was not coming out. I was like, the closed caption. No, not closed caption. I was trying to say everything, but that's what was my.
Well, that'd be a hell of a closed caption.
It's probably because it's CC and
concealed carry. It just kind of was going. And I've seen a lot of TV lately, so
there you go.
Yeah, and my wife. Who
I didn't think you watch TV because you just don't have that kind of time.
I do. I just watch it differently. Like in the evenings, generally, my wife has her news and all that. So if I'm off or I don't have anything, then I'll see him in the evenings there. And then sometimes on Sundays I have a day, and I took a day off yesterday to do some work. And I actually spent a little time watching some TV. Not a whole lot.
The thing is, if I didn't have a hopper, I wouldn't watch any TV at all.
Yeah.
Because I record everything and then
skip through the commercials.
Nice. And I can binge watch, And
well, and right now I have DirecTV, and they're in contract negotiations with Nexstar, which
I've never even heard of that.
Well, around here,
Nexstar is the satellite.
Yeah, Nexstar around here owns your CBS, your Fox, and your CW affiliate.
Oh.
And so they're fighting with DirecTV right now. So if you have DirecTV in the state of New Mexico, you do not have CBS, you do not have Fox, and you do not have CW.
Oh.
This happens every year.
Well, this has been going along, though.
I know, but it's either DirecTV or it's Dish or something. Well, somebody's fighting with somebody.
And they're both going to tell you the other one's wrong. Nexstar, DirecTV saying Nexstar is wanting too much money for their programming. Nexstar saying they want our stuff for free, and we're like, no, we're not giving, so... they're both they're just trying to fight for money. But the weird part about it is usually when this happens, they're only down for a week or two. CW's been down almost 6 months.
Oh, wow. That's quite a
And CBS and Fox have been out almost all of the summer. So at least 2-3 months now.
Wow.
And
it's going to be hard because CBS has got a lot of the mainline shows, but it's in reruns over the summer.
Wait till NFL season kicks here, because guess what?
Decide by then.
If you're on regular TV, NBC shows some games, but most of them are on Fox or CBS.
Yeah.
And once people don't have access to that, and Sunday Ticket they lost that because it's now YouTube TV. So you can't even. They're trying to offer a sports package where they give you the NFL Red Zone, which is great if you want to watch all the games 2 minutes at a time. It's a channel that just every couple minutes they'll. All right, let's flip over to the Cardinals game, and then they'll show a score. And it's like, let's go back to the Titans game or whatever it is. And that's great if you like watching football that way. But if you're like me and you're a Washington Commanders fan and all you care, I don't want to watch 2 minutes of the Titans.
I heard they're changing their name back.
Well, there's new ownership that starts that up again. Nothing's happening this season. But basically, Magic Johnson and Josh Harris, the two, there's way more owners, but they're kind of the face of it mostly. Right after they bought the team, they pretty much said that they're not doing nothing this year. But Magic specifically said during a Today Show interview, after this season, everything's on the table, which basically...
Well, they have all these Native American groups that are protesting because they liked the name.
Yeah, there's one major poll that's going out there, or petition, that's got like 20, 30, I don't know. Last I heard it was 70,000. I don't know. I keep seeing different numbers, but of signatures to bring the name back. However, the organization that's behind it is a quote-unquote Native Americans for, but the guy that runs it's not even a Native American. So that's kind of a huge red flag. It's not saying that some natives don't support it, but if you're going to have an organization that claims to be of Native Americans saying that we want, you better have a guy that's native, that's your face and running it. And so for me to be a part of that, I'm like, that's
yeah, I can see that.
It doesn't, and to be honest, I don't think it matters, because a lot of people think that people were bucking against the Redskins name because of Dan Snyder, because they wanted him gone. And I'm like, Dan's gone, but FedEx is still a sponsor. So is some of our others. And they specifically said, we will no longer sponsor this team if you're called the Redskins. A lot of people saying, oh, that's just because Dan Snyder was there. Now that Dan's gone, they won't. No, because the guy that owned FedEx was a part owner. The guy that owns FedEx, the company FedEx, he was a minority owner of the Commanders, and him and Dan had a thing, and then Dan ended up buying him out. But that was a big reason why the name changed, is because the FedEx guy absolutely said he's out on sponsoring anything, and they contributed mucho buckos to that
they have
organization.
it to contribute,
So
yeah.
I don't see that name ever changing as long as FedEx is part of the thing. But we'll see. Maybe court opinion will change, or public opinion will change things. But I will see the name change to Commanders. I do not think it's going back to Redskins. That's my prediction. I think Commanders is associated with Dan Snyder, and everyone wants to wash their hands of that. So I think the name will change again, but it will not be Redskins. That's my prediction.
We'll see if you're right.
Anyway, you got me sidetracked, Ian. We got to talk about American Legion stuff.
That's all right. I was just sleeping.
Yeah.
But by the way, always looking for new members to come be a part.
Well, Thursday night they're going to be doing some more fabric stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to be fabric savvy. You can trace or cut or whatever. So
just help wherever you help. Maybe.
Yeah, we actually have some pretty good news about the fabric stuff. We actually managed to finish our first Quilt of Valor. It's completely
sweet.
Done. We got the binding all done and everything. Now we just got to find.
That's been about a year process.
Oh, more than
2 year process.
Yeah,
okay.
it's,
but they were hand sewing it, so.
Yeah, well, the binding.
Yeah, because this kind of started in the thick of COVID world, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I'm very bad with time, so everything's like a year ago, and it's like, no, that was like 7 years ago. What?
Yeah, but we finished the Quilt of Valor. Now we just have to register with the organization, and then we will be able to award it to a local veteran.
Awesome.
Yeah, we just got.
Do we have a person in mind yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
So if the community has any suggestions, we'd be happy to take
kind of
those.
explain the Quilt of Valor for folks that aren't familiar with what
basically the Quilt of Valor it's an organization that was created in order to get quilts out to those that have seen things that they wish they hadn't.
Yeah.
It's a thank you from the American people to our veterans.
Yeah. It's a token of love.
It is. It's a hug to those that need it. It's given to a veteran, and it's awarded. They've got a certificate, and it's it's logged, it's tracked. So
it's not just a blanket.
Right. It's not just a blanket, and you
Yeah.
can't sell it. You can't, give it away. It's awarded to those that deserve it.
Sure. And for anybody that knows, when you talk about blanket making and things like that, generally the most labor intensive of the bunch is quilt making.
It is.
And so that's why quilts are chosen, because it generally is a labor of love, and it's to show that we're going to bust our butt to thank you for making a sacrifice that you made for us.
Right.
So
And
that's what it's about.
And the quilts also obviously have specific sizes that they're looking for, and it has to be sewn. It can't be like a tie quilt or
Right. This has got to be handmade and
Well, you
again,
can make it on a machine, but it can't be like a tie
right. You can't just
quilt
go
or-
you can't buy pre-thing patches and put you know what I mean. There's a lot of shortcuts that they don't want you to do.
Right. Yep.
They want to keep it traditional, keep it the way of quilting and all that stuff. Sure, you can use the serger or whatever to do all that, but they don't want you like putting half together quilts and doing all. They want it all,
there's some minimum requirements.
like cooking. You can make your own holiday sauce, or you can buy the packet. They
Yeah.
want you to make your own holiday sauce instead of buying the McCormick packet.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, ours is a patriotic. Obviously, it's red, white, and blue, and I think it's kind of it's a little bigger than a lap size. It's almost a twin size, I would say. It's a pretty good size
So
blanket.
good for like covering up in the chair while you're sitting there.
Exactly.
Reading or watching TV or something.
Yeah.
So, very cool.
Yep.
But we got our first one done. We just need
did.
to get the stamps of approval, and then we'll go on to the next phase there. Excellent. But every Thursday, pretty much, at First United Methodist Church, they're meeting and the sewing and putting together stuff. The first Thursday of every month is our actual meeting night.
Yes.
6 p.m. Once a quarter, all meet at one meeting.
This next one will be
is that a joint one?
Yeah.
But we all meet at 6 p.m. The Sons and the Legionnaires meet together, and then the Auxiliary has their own meeting at the time. And then once a quarter, which
they're special.
One for September, we'll all meet in one meeting.
Yeah.
So, but
We really like doing the joint meetings because we are a family, and it helps keep everybody on the same page and sharing ideas and coordinating efforts.
and all of the stuff we do, like the Bears and all that stuff. Yes, that's an auxiliary kind of run and centric thing, but we as a Legion kind of take credit for doing that. Same with the pancake breakfast. That's a Sun-centric thing, but the auxiliary and the Legionnaires all support it.
We all participate. We all support each other's program.
Well, and like Memory Lawn, most of the folks working at Memory Lawn are Legionnaires.
Yeah. But auxiliary is
Frank and
just as
Ralph
much
are-
hand in hand, and Sons are just as much.
Yeah.
The
hand in hand
auxiliaries
doing
out
it.
there picking up garbage. They're out
we
there,
do.
Whatever.
That's
trimming bushes sometimes. But I mean, the reality is, it's a family business.
Right.
So we'd love to invite families. So if one's a veteran, one's the spouse, or if you have children, all the above can be a part of it as part of this.
And then we have scouting on top of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah, and we have our scout troops. We have a Cub Scout and a Boy Scout. It's co-ed, but the older Scout troop as well, too.
Right, Troop 2.
Sorry, that's going to take me a while to get Boy Scout out of my head, because that's how you
no,
said it.
that's what we have, Boy Scouts.
Yeah. But
Boy
technically,
Scout troop,
yeah. But now
we have Cub
females
Scout
allowed in.
Well, Cub Scout is joint, but and then we got Dragonfly Festival coming up next month.
Yes, out of Bitter Lake.
We'll be doing double duty, farmers market and Dragonfly.
Matter of fact,
Festival.
Don Weld will be in tomorrow talking Bitter Lake and Alzheimer's, so he'll catch them both.
Yes, he wears many hats, that's for sure.
Which will be Legionnaires are both involved in both of those things. The Alzheimer's walk.
we
and-
just had 2024 committee last night, which, for those of you who don't know, the state convention for the American Legion is going to be here in Roswell.
Yes, next summer.
So
this next June.
we're on the hook for that, and we've been planning and
So
lining out bling.
so if you have a small
coins,
business,
shirts.
we're going to have probably several hundred people coming into town. So if you would like to contribute to that,
Like swag bags?
Yeah, we need.
Well, yeah, we need those. We need ID holders. We need.
But if you want to put
lanyards,
Yeah, like if
promote
you
your
have-
business
yeah,
in
if you
there,
have flyers and stuff like that
you have
that you wanna
jerky
include, let us know.
or some kind of nuts or.
Well, you have a captive audience, so I
We've got
mean,
pens or
anything
something.
we can put in these little swag bags, everything from
Everything that promotes Roswell to people outside of Roswell.
Right, exactly.
food items to.
And there's some folks that will be coming into town who've never been here before. So if you have some little business that they should know
pens or
about,
whatever. We are
abduction
going to
yet.
try to promote the alien aspect of it here. So
It's kind of what we're known for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ride that gravy train. Come for the aliens and learn about milk and stuff.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Yeah, I had no idea when I first moved here that Roswell was a dairy capital.
Yeah,
It's like, that's-
second largest in the U.S.
Yeah, in the middle of the desert. I would not have guessed that.
If you've eaten a pizza from Domino's any time in your life, chances are you've eaten cheese from right here in Roswell.
Yep.
All the mozzarella, all the cheese you want.
Yeah.
Although
you're cheesing me off now.
Well, I learned, like the little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey.
Uh-huh.
Say that all the time as a kid. I had no idea what curds and whey was until
I had no idea either.
I toured Leprino. I'm like, curds? Oh, that's separate milk. That's what all that means. I didn't know any of that, man. I had no idea. I just like milk, oatmeal. I don't know. So curds and whey is separate. That's like they use the curds, I think, to make like your cheese, and the whey to make like your protein.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how they make cottage cheese though.
I don't know.
Curdled milk. We have Veterans Day parade coming up,
Yes, we
and
do.
it's actually on Veterans Day this year.
November.
Which means we're looking for sponsors.
Yes.
So anybody who would like to sponsor the veterans this year, please get a hold of me, either through the website or call me on the phone.
Yep.
Either way, roswelllegion.org, or call me at 575-268-0220, or
come to one of our meetings.
Come to a meeting or what have
Farmers
you.
Market, if you see them out on the
Farmers Market,
Saturday.
that's a good thing. We'll have, and it's 501c19, so you can write off part of it if you itemize, or if you're a large business looking for a tax deduction. These are good things.
We can shelter your taxes.
Well, some of them.
Yes.
We all need a little shelter. Sorry.
I thought it was gimme shelter.
I don't know. I'll do my own version to fit the narrative.
There you go. Yep.
But
the level of cheese on this program.
Oh man, I got the best dad jokes. I'm not even a dad. What's up with that? But anyway,
Yeah. You have fur kids.
I do. I have 2 cats, and but that don't count.
They don't count?
I don't think it's dads.
Don't say that out loud, because Lizzie's the crazy cat lady.
Yeah, but people like Sean that have actual kids tend to frown when I say I'm a dad.
Well, yeah. There is different levels, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. People who have lots of animals, it's quite the expense.
Oh, you ain't wrong. I know. It's very expensive. They're nutty and they're fun, and I love them. I wouldn't have any other way. But, yeah, it's a job to maintain pets and to do it right.
Well, people think, it's like kids. You have 1, no big deal. 2, a little bit bigger deal. You get to 3 or more, this is X to the 3rd power,
Yeah.
X to the 4th power.
Well, now you're starting to get into teacher world, what they're dealing with 20 kids at one time.
Yeah. Kudos to our teachers. I don't know how they do it.
Yes.
Scholarships.
Yes.
We have 2 $2,500 scholarships on the table.
And nobody's applied yet.
Nobody has applied for that. I guess nobody needs money this year.
Guess not. If you go to roswelllegion.org, you'll find the link for the scholarships. You'll see the requirements. You could be a veteran or a family member, immediate family member of a veteran. That's kind of the first
grandchild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of the first rule or requirement here. This goes towards.
I'm trying very hard to give away $5,000.
Yeah.
Nobody want it? Anybody?
And to be honest, it's the requirements aren't that stringent. The military, the veteran side is part of it. The other thing is you've got to be pursuing a STEM-related career field,
or first responder,
which is very broad. It counts on anything from your engineers but medical field, first responders, any of that. But heating, air conditioning, all that STEM stuff,
science, technology, education.
Yeah. So if you're going into
mechanical,
the trades,
mathematics.
So even if you're going into the trades, as they used to say back in the day,
right?
That's all STEM too. So this scholarship qualifies for that.
We even gave $1,500 to a welder.
Yeah,
I mean, geez,
it's all STEM, and so we just want to help that way. You will have to write an essay. There is a thing about
500 words.
Yeah.
You think
you are going to college?
Mike says 500 words in a minute. So
right. Not all properly put together words.
Doesn't matter.
500 of them.
if you're the only one writing an essay, it's fine.
Yeah. The other day, my Siri accidentally caught me on doing a chat, and so it started recording. And I was about to send my wife a whole dialogue of me talking on the radio that this thing was just recording the chat.
She'd have loved that.
And I looked and I was like, what the heck is going on?
Wow. Yeah.
But it was pulling some of what I then, and it caught a couple of what Sean was saying, so it was a hot mess on there. But 500 words is nothing. You can knock it out in a minute. Yeah. I know it seems like a lot when you're in younger school, but by the way, you are going to a higher institution. You're probably going to be writing 10 of those in a given time. So
yeah.
Good practice.
Yeah.
But we do want to get people to fill it out right now. So.
Yeah, because you guys are going into school or already there.
Yeah.
So come get your money.
And the money,
because it's just sitting there.
Yeah,
not doing nothing.
Anything related to your schooling. You want to use it for books or for to
materials or tuition or
isn't just
we're
tuition.
not going to buy your beer for you.
Yeah, that's on you.
Not going to do that.
And we're not paying for your housing, but the rest of it.
Well, you don't get it. We didn't even buy our own beer. If we did, it was always cheap. You know what I'm saying? That we didn't. We go.
I got off easy. I didn't really drink in college.
Yeah. There's a reason I went to the Class 6 every Friday and got a 12-pack of Milwaukee's Best for like $3.
Well, it was cheap. Yep. See, but if you get the scholarship, then you have more money to get the fun things.
Yeah. So now I just realized why you have such thinning hair. If you were drinking old Milwaukee Best.
Oh, I drank nothing nice. I was,
You look like a Mickey's Big Mouth kind of guy.
I'm the epitome of cheap beer. I drank all the, if it's expensive, I was like, ugh. Give me the Beast Ice was my go-to. Milwaukee's Best Ice. That was my odds are pretty good. If I'm at a social event in the military and you have a picture of me, there's a Beast Ice in my hand.
Well, my problem was I had standards. I wouldn't drink things like Bud Light or
when I made $1,000 a month,
Mickey's Big Mouth. Or
I made $1,000 a month. I drank whatever they did for me.
See, this is why you need to apply for the scholarship, so you can spend your money on fun things as well.
There you go. You don't have to drink
because it's part of the experience.
But please, you got to go to Roswell Legion. I guarantee you're not going to get the scholarship if you don't apply. So go to roswelllegion.org. You'll find the application and all the process and everything there. Also, if you're looking for more information about us on anything about our tentpole projects, Memory Lawn, all of the things we back, and you'll find all of that there. So if you're interested in becoming a Legionnaire or a auxiliary or Sons member,
I just updated our calendar.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sure do. So you can see our upcoming events, of course, Veterans Parade.
You're going to have a whole afternoon to read the event calendar.
We're a little busy, so we could really use some more help.
All right, so come out. And
it's only $50 a year for Sons is $25, but for the rest of us, it's $50s, which is less than $1 a week,
Unless
guys.
you're under 18, and then it's $15.
Yeah,
right. So. Yes,
but it's a service organization, but it's also a social organization.
Yeah. You can sign up your kids and grandkids. All they have to be is born.
Yeah.
So long as they're born, you can sign them up.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great way. Again, go to roswelllegion.org or come to our meeting on Thursday. Come out Thursday.
I actually signed up a son the day before he was born once.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but we were pretty sure it was going to happen.
Right. Like the odds were good. We're already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's
if her water broke, it's probably ready. Yeah.
I think so.
Sign the line there.
Yep.
He's a son now.
Like, I decided to stay back in for another 6 months. It doesn't happen.
Of course, you're probably going to have an ultrasound to find out if it's a Legionnaire or
a boy,
son or an
auxiliary.
Yeah.
Well, they can do that pretty early now. Usually by the end of the first trimester, they can tell it, right?
I thought it was second, but either way.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't have any kids. I have no experience.
No, I don't either.
You have fur kids,
I didn't birth them.
Well, being male, that might be difficult.
You don't look like a birthing person to me.
That's point one. I'm not a cat either. That was the other one.
Yeah.
I'm as close to giving birth as guys gets as passing kidney stones. So.
That's what I hear.
That's what they say. Yeah. I haven't had to do that yet either.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Talking that one. My wife, gallbladder. She had an issue, but not.
This is wood, actually.
It is, yeah.
This is from Glenn's Furniture.
Yeah.
He built this for us custom. It is definitely wood.
Nice.
Again, roswelllegion.org. Come out. I guess the next thing, quick would be this Thursday meeting. Come out if you want to do that. Or come out Saturday morning, beginning at 7 a.m. at the farmers market.
Yeah, you can pick up some nice produce, get some baked goods from us, and enjoy the cool morning air.
Get your tickets for the gun drawing while they're still available.
Yeah, drop by the booth, get some black tar heroin.
There you go.
Also known as brownies.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, everybody tells me at farmers market that the brownies are addictive as all get out.
Well, you got to be there like early to get those.
Lately, we've had puff pastries.
Ooh.
And those don't last 30 minutes.
Oh, so they're even quicker than the brownies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the puff pastries go faster than brownies.
If you want the baked goods from the American Legion,
You got to get there before 9.
Yeah, before 9. Yeah, I would even say 8 just to be safe.
We had Reese's bars last weekend, and that's what took the longest to sell.
And they still sold out.
But then they sell like 6 at a time.
Well, peanut butter people come strong. Like, there's not as many people that are diehard peanut butter people, but when they do, they come fight.
Give me all of the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a unique thing. So, and then, and of course, if you want to help out, you don't even have to be a Legionnaire or a veteran for that matter.
Volunteers are always welcome.
Always look for volunteers to serve on our Veterans Committee for the Veterans Parade, or if you want to help out at Memory Lawn and stuff, or just get involved and you're like, well, I'm not a veteran, but I love what you're doing. I'd love to help out.
Memory Lawn right now, we need people dragging lines for water.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And the mowing part, we pretty got down pat. We got riding lawnmowers that go out there and we get that taken care of. We also are cleaning gravestones now. I guess we got that special cleaner now.
Okay. And by the way, too, if you want to, because we've kind of adopted the maintenance over at, we've worked with the new owner, or I'd say new owners. They've owned it for a while, but
the current owners that are trying to find new owners.
Yeah. We've been working with them, so we kind of do a lot of that. So financially, we're accepting donations for gas money and that kind of stuff.
If you want to
earmark it directly
for that.
Yeah, just contact Lee. We have a separate account for that. Or if you just say no, put it to whatever you Legionnaires
Scouting
deem best,
or
whatever.
Anything else or generic.
Yeah, you can earmark any of that. So if you say,
pretty much, we don't have any traditional expenses except on the scouting side. I have to pay for electricity and gas.
Yeah.
But other than that, we don't have any of the traditional.
Not a lot of overhead.
Yeah, we don't have a bar or anything like that either. So
most of our donations actually go to the program.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'd say the lion's share.
Yeah. So it's either going, it could be a lot of things. Where at the holidays when we're donating turkeys and all that kind of stuff, or
homeless shelters,
buying some pancake mix for the sons, or buying firearms for our drawings.
Right, and it's back to school season, obviously. So if you happen to notice that there's a really good sale on school supplies, grab 10 of them, donate them, and we'll get them to the schools.
All the time we just try to help out where we need on some of that kind of stuff. If people, sometimes a domestic violence shelter needs some things, and we're like, let's see if we can get to that. So all that money you donate when you buy the brownies and get the gun raffle.
That's what it goes for.
Well, we have a niche market. The 28 does. They have a hall they rent out, and so you can have activities out there. What do they call those things? Sweet 16 parties.
Oh, the quinceañeras.
Quinceañeras and all that stuff. So I mean, they have a facility for that. Mm-hmm. And then we raise money for the community.
Sure.
So
we're
yin
First
and
United
yang.
Methodist Church has been very kind to house us and do everything for us.
I just wish they'd work an elevator, but
they're working on it.
Catapults.
That would probably be more excitement than I'm looking for.
How fun would that be for a minute?
Yeah, for maybe a minute, and then you gotta come back down.
Till you land, then not so much.
I thought we were friends.
I'm just saying, we could put a trebuchet in the parking lot. We'd see what happens.
Yeah, no. The only thing I want to send sailing and shipping is over to the troops. So our care packages.
I kind of always wanted to try like the pumpkin chucking and all that. Like,
see, that might be fun.
I think that's a bucket list thing I want to do in my life at some point. Just have a trebuchet and launch.
Isn't that like a Carrie Byron thing or something?
Well, a lot of farms, like I think Graves had one, or they may still have one. I feel like they had a trebuchet pumpkin chuck. I know some people do have pumpkin chucking equipment around here.
We are coming up to that season.
Yes. We'll have to look into that. That might be a fun
by the way,
fundraiser.
this year, Halloween, we're not going to do a drive-through.
No drive-through this year?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're having a party, but that's about as close as we're going to get this
Yeah,
year.
our Halloween team,
committee.
they're They've done enough.
Well, and 50% of it moved to Colorado.
That's a lot of work to put that together.
It
and
is.
They really took that ball and ran with it. And I can see how that's.
And they're not getting any younger, as they told me, so they're done.
Well, it's a lot of work. And
Well, Rodney helped us out so
He
much,
did.
but
Over at
he's getting tired.
Roswell Livestock.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Absolutely. So makes sense.
he was out there pulling cable and
Yep.
all that
Setting
stuff
up
at 5
framing.
o'clock in the morning and frames and.
Yeah, I could see why they don't want to do that this year. It's like, let's have a party instead. Like
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll probably just participate in the trunk or treat.
Good deal. So, more to
Oh, yeah,
come as
well,
we
we
get
definitely
closer.
have candy to give away.
Oh, we'll be giving away candy.
Yeah.
Because we
No
have
doubt
to eat it all,
about
we
that.
don't, and we don't want to do that. We all have a foot in the grave anyway, so
Yeah.
we'll give it away to you guys. Did we get it all?
I hope so,
Well,
because you
for
gotta
this
go.
particular time.
Yeah. Well, it's 10 o'clock. I just saw.
Is it
we're-
10 o'clock?
Yeah, it is. We're at the.
Do you
we're at
know
the
where your
time.
fur kids are?
So, again, if you have any questions about anything we talked about, RoswellLegion.org. You can do that. Come out to our meeting every Thursday. Someone's at First United Methodist Church, either sewing or meeting. And so, and then don't forget, for the next month or so, every Saturday morning, Chavez County Courthouse Lawn for Farmers Market. That's going to go through September. Usually wraps up about the end of September. But that's going on every Saturday. Come out, meet our American Legion folks. Get your raffle tickets while there's still some available for the two firearms.
Drawing tickets.
Yeah, sorry. There's semantics there, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You buy ticket, we give you ticket. Your ticket
Come
may
pick
win
up
you a
your
gun.
gun.
That's whatever you want to call that. That's what's going on.
Exactly.
And then, of course, if you want to be a Legionnaire or an auxiliary or some member, please, love to have you. Always looking for some more folks to come be a part of our family here. So, good deal. Thank you, guys. Safe travels.
Thanks, Mike.
So you guys are getting ready to go. Are you heading out of town for another thing now, or is that
No, not for a couple weeks.
Okay, that was a couple weeks. I was thinking for some reason it was coming up soon. You guys were back. You guys are on the road more than you're not on the road. So.
Oh,
Feels like
don't
days.
I know it? And then after the U-Haul fiasco. So.
That's true. Yeah. Go back and listen if you want to hear that story. We don't want to recap.
No.
It's Mike.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this: no sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio. KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The district attorney in Fulton County, Georgia, proposing a March 4th start date for former President Trump's trial. March 4th, the eve of Super Tuesday, fueling Mr. Trump's claim that this prosecution, as well as the others, are designed specifically to disrupt his presidential campaign and deny him his free speech rights. Downed live power lines being looked at as one possible cause of the Hawaiian wildfires, although the investigation is just beginning. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell says that more canine search teams are being added because of harsh conditions on the ground.
Because of the conditions and the fire debris, the dogs have to navigate the heat. They have to deal with issues with their paws, walking through glass and debris. And in these conditions, the dogs require frequent rest, which is why we are sending in additional dogs to augment the operation.
The death toll is 111, with as many as 1,300 people still unaccounted for.
At least 3 schools were untouched by flames in Lahaina, but are still being assessed after sustaining wind damage. The campuses will open when they are deemed safe. Elsewhere on Maui, crews cleaned up ash and debris at other schools and tested air and water quality. Once reopened, displaced students who enroll at those campuses can access services such as meals and counseling. The Education Department is also offering counseling for family members and staff. Transportation officials said the Lahaina Bypass Road, closed since August 8th, is open again, allowing residents to access the burn zone. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Just 36% of American adults approve of the president's handling of the economy, among the findings of a new AP NORC poll. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 45 points, the NASDAQ down 54. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A Haitian gang leader is at once welcoming and perhaps threatening an international force proposed to restore peace to Haiti.
Jimmy Cherizier, best known as Barbecue, is a former police officer now considered to be Haiti's most powerful gang leader. At a news conference, he said he would welcome the deployment of an international force if it were to arrest the prime minister and people he describes as corrupt politicians and local police. And he warned he would fight the force if it committed any abuses, citing the actions of previous UN peacekeepers, including committing sexual abuses and inadvertently introducing cholera into water sources. He also urged Haitians to rise up against the country's government. I'm Ben Thomas.
South Korea's spy service says North Korea preparing a variety of weapons tests in response to upcoming U.S.-South Korean military drills. News and analysis, townhall.com. Public health officials in Connecticut issue a warning.
2 residents have died this summer from infections linked to a bacteria found in raw shellfish or seawater. 3 people in the state are known to have been infected with the Vibrio vulnificus bacteria, which doesn't make an oyster look, smell, or taste any different. 2 cases were wound infections not associated with seafood. The 3rd infection was a Connecticut resident who consumed raw oysters not harvested from Long Island Sound at an out-of-state establishment. All 3 victims between the ages of 60 and 80. John Scott reporting.
The Air Force throwing its support behind a program aimed at developing a sleek, futuristic-looking jet, one that could provide greater range and efficiency for military tankers and cargo planes. Air Force officials announcing a $235 million award for startup aircraft maker Jet Zero. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Buenos Thursday, everybody. Hope your second to last work day of the week is going well so far. For money, not for all, but
we're in hell week, and these today and tomorrow are hell days.
Yeah. But you know the part that really I don't like about all this? The fact that it's 106 today. I can deal with the work, but when it's 106, that means it's going to be like 75, 80 in this room.
Yeah, even with our air-conditioned building, it still gets really hot in here.
Yeah, it's just like, dang. So, this 106 nonsense needs to go.
106, great dial position, terrible temperature.
Yeah, 106.5, great. 106 degrees, not so much.
Nonsense.
Yeah. But happy Thursday.
Yes.
Hope you're staying cool.
All I can tell you is this. We're getting closer. We're almost there. Fall is within our reach. If you walk into the Walgreens right now, or pretty much any store, and give a good sniff, you're going to smell cinnamon.
Yeah,
which means we're getting close to the holiday season.
Pumpkin spice
season. You can
season.
get that, starting in March in Hobby Lobby, but that's not the point. When it comes to the real world, that's when we start to take notice.
Are Halloween costumes out yet?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh, absolutely.
That was it. I guess they've packed up the back-to-school stuff and now putting out the Halloween stuff is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think it came out I want to say a week ago.
Yeah. I feel bad for St. Patrick's Day. Like, they get an end cap. Where, like, all the others get a whole department.
Well, in fairness, how much self-deco are you getting for St. Patrick's Day besides, like, a Kiss Me, I'm Irish shirt and maybe
personally, none. But
some
many
better-shaped goggles.
Many people go all out for that stuff. And
my friend, whose birthday is right around there almost every single year, her birthday is St. Patrick's themed. But the thing is, after 2 or 3 years of accumulating St. Patrick's themed birthday items, you have them all.
Yeah.
You don't need any more.
Well, my sister-in-law, her birthday is St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, really?
Every year, March 17th. Yeah. And my wife is Halloween, weirdly enough. Holiday kids. But anyway, we got a full hour for you.
They're like, we're going to give you a big bag of candy. It's for both.
Yes. Well, my wife told me when she was a little girl, she thought Halloween was a celebration of her birthday, not Halloween.
I don't know why people get so dark on my birthday.
Yeah.
It's just horror films.
Well, and her biological father, his name Roger, and there was one time where she was flying back and forth. Mom was here in New Mexico, Dad was in Texas, and so I guess they an instance where they were flying her to Dad or from Dad back to Mom. I don't remember, but as a little kid, they get you usually get a chaperone or whatever that kind of make sure you get to where you're getting to, and they hang a little sign on you and all that stuff. Well, she had that going, but somehow someone asked her dad's name was Roger, and somehow it got on that her dad was Roger Staubach, and like the whole plane thought she was Roger Staubach's kid for a minute. But it was all an related thing. So yeah, Halloween she thought was her birthday, and she had a plane full of people convinced Roger Staubach was her dad.
Pretty good stock. No wonder you sunk your claws in early.
That's right. But let me give you a rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. Then we're going to have, joining us from the District Attorney's Office, we will have our 5th Judicial District Attorney, Diana Luce, join us. Justin Dominguez, lead investigator, with her as well. So we'll get always have a great conversation with them. And so we get the big boss today, the DA. So we'll talk with her in just a few minutes.
Very good.
Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can squeeze in before they kick us off La Radio at 10 a.m. this morning.
The boy is officially in his second year of pre-K, first day today at Parkview. We were able to get over to Parkview. Cool thing is, his teacher is the same teacher that Rhiannon had in her first year pre-K.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
there's familiarity there.
I forgot how hellish walking through a pre-K is. I went through a pre kindergarten school.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
First they usually have their own little section, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like it's separate from the rest of the school.
Well, yeah, like there's elementary school that have kindergarten, but this is a whole pre-K. Like they only do like for 3 and 4 year olds.
Okay, but like even like kindergarten facilities are separate from the rest of the elementary school usually.
Most of the time, yeah. But if you've ever been standing in line at a Walmart, had like a kid screaming in like the next lane.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now go ahead and multiply that by 1,000.
Oh yeah.
That's what was happening this morning.
Yeah.
I was so happy to get back to my car. I was like, please, get me out of here.
I just want quiet.
And I was going to school to be one of those people.
There you go.
I would have had a heart attack at 28. There's no way. Teachers, I give you endless and boundless credit. You guys are superheroes.
So was Hunter? Was he excited? Nervous?
He was groggy. And then we showed up early, but we had some time to kind of drive around, and I got him pumped up. And he said he's really excited. He's going to do great today. As soon as he was nervous a little bit at first, but when he met the Miss Julie, the one who was taking us back to his class, he started talking and he didn't stop.
Nice.
And I looked at the teacher. I was like, it never stops. If you know how, please show me. I don't know how.
There's an off button on this. Tell me.
It's a problem. I thought it was an off button. It was a reset button.
Yeah, right. It just started over.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, it is 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. I reckon let's get the bad news over with. Here's your weather. Enjoy it or not. Still is what it is.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No rain coming up for a while. We have dry air in place, and that'll allow our temperatures to heat up quite a bit today. 105 for the afternoon high and sunny. Overnight, some clouds and low 70s, and then between 100 and 105 on Friday, and we keep the sunshine. Clear Friday night. We'll stay right around the 100-degree mark both Saturday and Sunday, and mostly sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. I forgot to refresh. I just saw that as I was about to go on air. Let me refresh. Currently 89 degrees. Yeah, we're already pushing 90 at 9 o'clock in the morning. Humidity is at 25%. Winds currently out of the west at 7 miles per hour. Heat advisory kicks in at noon today. Remains in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. Sunny, hot. Expect a high of 106 with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 72 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, 104. Winds out of the west, 5 to 10 in the morning, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Friday night for football, mostly clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 70. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour early, 5 to 10 after midnight. Looking at the weekend, sunny and 102 for your Saturday. Southeast winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 miles per hour for the afternoon. Sunday, sunny and 101. And then when you head back to work and school Monday, sunny and 99. Don't get too excited, but they talk of 20% chance of rain Tuesday night and a 30% chance of rain on Wednesday of next week with a high of only 92. So crossing fingers, not getting too excited yet. We'll see. All right, it is 9:14. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then on the other side, we will have the folks from the District Attorney's Office. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Fall classes at ENMU Roswell start August 21st. Register now on campus or online. Whether you're a new student, retiring student, or want to learn a new skill or trade, we have the programs and financial aid to support you every step of the way. Take classes during the day, evening, or online. Talk with an advisor today. Call 575-624-7294 or log on to roswell.enmu.edu.
ENMU Roswell. How about a fresh, healthy glow this new year? Put your best face forward and meet all your skincare goals with Dr. Cometti at Roswell Skin Center. Build confidence and enjoy the skin you're in. Treat yourself to a facial, chemical peel, Botox, fillers, or laser treatments. Loyalty membership gets you $50 off your first treatment. Learn more at roswellskin.com.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith.
I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agar told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
There are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 17 minutes after 9. I have so many questions about that buried in a Pringle can thing, but we'll have to address those later. Good morning. It is 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, we have the actual 5th Judicial District Attorney here, Diana Luce here, not the deputies, but the head honcho here, Diana Luce. Also, lead investigator Justin Dominguez back with us. Good morning, guys. Thank you for spending some time with us. I know your schedules are crazy, and for you guys to spend a half hour with us, we do appreciate that. So.
Good morning.
Yeah, how's life? Did you come up this morning, or were you here already?
Well, we might as well put it on the radio, right? I've moved to Roswell.
Oh, did you? I didn't know that.
So
okay.
I moved from Lovington to Roswell.
Okay.
Kind of life changes with my husband passing.
I'm sorry to hear that, but so how's life in the big city now?
Oh well, is that why Roswell's setting all the summer heat records?
I guess.
Maybe
is it your
I'm
fault? Did you bring it with you?
Maybe. I hope not.
Well, go. I'm going. So how long you been in Roswell now? A couple months? Or?
Since July. So
okay.
Not too long.
You like it? You liking living here so far?
We lived in Roswell before.
So you got experience.
And so our kids went to Brendo Middle School. And, so, you know, Roswell was not that.
Old hat for you.
Yeah.
You've stomped through these grounds of time.
So,
too,
you know, it's nice, good people.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So I'm curious, Justin, do you, as lead investigator, do you go where she goes, or do you get to, do you have your own?
No, I mean, so I have a lot of things going on as well, but I try to, as much as I can be with Diana, I try to be with Diana, and not only just because of my position as an investigator, but also I'm our public information officer. So a lot of the events that she attends, I try to be there, whether it's to help with the PIO aspect of my position and our agency, or to assist in taking photos to put up on social media and stuff to assist with that part of transparency. We try to be as transparent as we can with the public, so that helps out. When Diana created this position, the PIO position, I stepped in and tried to help out with that for our office. So I do spend a lot of time with Diana, but at the same time, the investigation division has a lot of things going on.
You got your own stuff you got to do, but at the same time, you got to kind of
absolutely,
fill in the void where it's needed.
Absolutely,
in her side of things.
Yes, sir.
Here. So I'm kind of curious. Diana, do you get to, do you actually prosecute cases, or is that mostly just your deputy DAs, or do you actually get in a courtroom and do your thing?
I actually prosecute cases.
Okay.
I have a caseload myself. Right now, it is actually a caseload from all 3 counties.
Okay.
It'd be preferable if maybe I had more from one county and then a few from the other 2. But right now, we've been kind of going through, for several months now.
Sure.
losing attorneys and then hiring new ones. So I take over caseloads. I usually do more violent crime.
Okay.
But
do you get the one like I guess what I say is because I imagine in some cases the cases are dependent on where they're at, and so that's how they get assigned to people. Are you just part of the numbers? It's like, oh, your turn to get the case, or it's like, no, this is a unique case. We need to give it to the DA. How does that work? I'm just kind of curious.
I try not to be what we call a line attorney where I get assigned in the rotation
Gotcha.
cases. It does happen.
But when staffing's an issue, then you go where the fire is.
Right. but most often it's usually a case that's got some type of difficulty or problems or issues.
Something a little more sensitive or something that might mean a little finessing or something.
Well,
you're in the room to make sure it goes the way it's supposed to.
It's kind of like I asked for the job, so sometimes it's the case I have to do, right?
Sure.
That's my responsibility to make sure that those get done.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I was just curious, like as the DA, and I imagine it's different from, like when you get in bigger cities where you've got an army of attorneys, maybe the DA doesn't have to do as much of that, but we're small town people. We're not quite Barney Fife and Andy Griffith, but we're closer to that than we are to, you know what I mean? And so sometimes you have to, kind of, all right, well, the DA is the person that does that. But I'm guessing your biggest hurdle that you've, and this is not just your office, but every DA's office in the country, is yes, your competition is the defense.
Right.
The defense attorney world. There's a lot more money to be made in that world, and when an attorney goes through law school, goes past the bar, does all the things, and they get a point in their life where they're like, I get the prosecution, I want to do that, but I'd like to make six figures doing something or making bigger money on the private or defense side, and so you guys are probably constantly losing that fight to people saying, I want. I want to do something. I get it. I'm doing good work here, but I need to get paid sometimes, and government can't pay what private sector does. There's no way they can compete. So is that really your biggest hurdle in the DA's office, or am I way off base there?
Well, I think our biggest hurdle is honestly caseloads.
Okay.
We are grateful that we have law enforcement in the 5th District that work cases, arrest people, bring cases to us to prosecute. But it also means we have high caseloads. And so even when we're fully staffed, our caseload numbers will be higher than most other DA districts in the state if they're fully staffed. And so we pay well for the state pay salary.
Sure.
Our district pays really well for that. But most of the time it's caseload. There are people that like being prosecutors, they like being trial attorneys, and that's where you do that.
But they don't want to do it 24/7. They want to sleep and eat and live their lives too sometimes.
Right.
What's that?
They'd like to take a day off. I'm always like, people ask for vacation, and I'm like, wait, you think you get to leave the office? I don't know.
We don't have any words start with V in this room, in this office.
That's right. It's like, crime doesn't stop, right? But yeah, so I think our office and the public defenders both struggle with that in the 5th District.
I imagine the defenders probably even more so.
Because it's high caseloads.
Yeah.
And right now, with only, UNM Law School in the state of New Mexico, we rarely, in the last few years, get anyone from UNM to apply. We hire from out of state.
Okay, because that's where the people are. Where people are coming from, yeah.
And there's a process to get either licensed in New Mexico, or the state created what's called a public employee license.
Sure.
So if you're licensed in another state, you don't have to go through the bar process or being admitted. You get this special license if you work for the public defenders or work for the district attorney.
Sure.
It still takes a couple of months to get them licensed. So when they start, we're still waiting.
Sure. So as many, because I imagine this is the case where someone that's going to work as an attorney in the DA's office, most of them are fresh out of law school, passing the bar. They're not people that have been attorneys for 5-10 years and then decided to go to that's generally what you're seeing, right?
Generally, it's brand new. They may have been out of law school, passed the bar within the last year. That's the majority of the people. So we So they start at the bottom.
Sure.
And
so a lot of them come here looking to build a resume.
Right.
Basically, and you're like, well, I need you, so let's come build your resume. Because we want to take a day off every month.
And hopefully while they're here, we can get them to grow some roots and get them to stay.
And see, and that's where the rest of us come in. That's what, and this is not just the lawyer world, the doctors, the teachers, they all deal with this same quandary.
Absolutely.
People that live here their whole lives, they know it and love it. But if this is new to you, and it takes a little getting used to desert and dirt and hot, but then we're like, well, come meet the people, come eat some green chili, come see the beauty, and go to Redosa for the weekend. We do have mountains and green things sometimes. It's just not in our own backyard. It's adjacent, and so that's really on us as a society and community to kind of. And I always say that every time when you see new teachers or new anybody in town, welcome, show them the restaurants you like to go to, be that ambassador, because we'd love to have these folks like to call this place home,
right,
and continue to do their profession here with us. So kids, if you're looking for a good stable job, want to stay in the area, go get your law degree and come talk to the district attorney's office, and you can you won't be working hard, but at the end of the day, you're going to be making a difference in your community.
Yes,
and that's why you two do it, I'm sure, and every other deputy attorney and investigator and every person that's associated with the district attorney's office. I'm thinking at the end of the day, if they really wanted to, they could find a place where they're making more money and doing, but they're there because they care about the people, they care about the process, and they care about their homes.
It's a labor of love for sure.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that's why you guys do it, and we've talked, like last time we had you on, we really talk about the emotional rigmarole that everyone in your office goes through every time there's a case, and so really you guys are kind of like, it's kind of just like law enforcement or military. You're a circle of people that only understand what's going on because you're in the circle, and it's really hard for someone outside the circle to understand it. Therefore, they can maybe sympathize but don't fully understand mentally what you guys deal with on a daily basis. And I'm sure that has something to do with it too. There's probably a burnout factor for some folks too when they get to that, and that's understandable. So don't get me wrong, it's not easy work, but at the end of the day, you're making a difference, and if there's enough of us doing it, it will get easier. It will get better.
Right.
The caseload. Now, I'm kind of curious on your opinion on caseload and stuff, because is some of that just too many cases, or things that shouldn't be coming, or is it, no, we just got that much crime and we just can't keep up with it? I mean, is it a cocktail of that, or is it more of one than the other?
We still have a backlog from COVID of trials and cases to be tried, and there's a backlog at the labs with testing.
Sure.
Again, DNA.
People, they don't have the experts that can do enough of them.
DNA, firearms, and so just to get all the cases through. That's a lot of it. On the other hand, I mean, there obviously is new crime.
Sure.
And so it's a combination of old cases, or maybe cases that have been on warrant status for a while, the COVID backlog, and
just a storm of stuff, basically.
Well, and honestly, and you have to give credit to our law enforcement. They get out and investigate. Somebody reports a crime, they respond, and they investigate, and they bring viable cases. Now, over time, we've talked about that before, that witnesses may not want to be involved. They may get tired of the case and
as
move on.
As time goes, things get stale and things change. Yeah,
right.
That's what happens.
But the reality is that they try to staff our law enforcement agencies so that we have law enforcement. When a crime happens, they work it. So, we have viable cases. Are they viable over time? Maybe not. Some things bring a negative to that. But no, we're getting cases we should get. We screen those. So if it's open in our office, it's a case we should have.
Good deal. That's why I was just wondering if it was just a combination thereof, or someone's. Why are we? This is something we could have handled without getting legal involved here. I didn't know if it was something like that, or or the other way where it's just COVID, the cocktail of things that happen, and when you're in a situation that deteriorates mental health in society, you're going to see more criminal cases and more things. That's just one begats the other. That's just what happens. So I didn't know if it was a cocktail of that or just something. And so, but is it is it settling down at all? Like you said, we got a backlog, but is it kind of are DAs, not just yours, but across the state, starting to kind of slush through this stuff?
Well, we always say when the weather's warmer, there's more crime. People are out more things happen. That's why we all like snow.
Sun's out, guns out in a different way.
It helps calm things down a little bit. So I think statewide, everyone is seeing a little bit of a summertime increase, and hopefully over the fall and things that will calm down. But we haven't had like any particular spike. It's just kind of the general trend.
Sure.
So with the shortage of attorneys, that does. I think we have 6 vacancies within the district. Out of the 3 offices. So being down 1 attorney affects us, but being down 6 has an impact.
Sure.
So that we can't as efficiently move cases. And so I know our judges, even if the defense is ready, sometimes we're not. And that the whole system has to work together.
Yeah, and that's really where I think, and this is not just a unique New Mexico thing, it's across the country where, people complain about the things, and I'm like, I think it's because everyone's got their thing from their angle, and we as humans, I think, are bad from seeing the forest from the trees sometimes, and we all take things from our angle and think that's the most important thing, and you get in your world where it's like, well, they're all equally important. Not one's more important than the other, because all of these entities have to be on the same page for this to happen. But I think there's a little bit of, and it's everybody. It's like, well, I'm to this. It's more important that I get this done first. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? A little bit of that going on. And I'm not saying that's the problem, but I would think if we could somehow as humans figure out how to, know when to be the chief and know when to back off a little bit, sure, maybe we could get a lot more done sometimes, or the communication, or even on your world with cases and stuff, people will be more apt to testify at the moment. But as things change and they don't anymore, maybe some of this process would eliminate a little of that, maybe. But I mean, that's just it. We're all spitballing and throwing ideas, and it's such a big animal that there's so many little things. It's like, how much of these little things can we do to maybe fix the big thing?
Right.
And so that's what we're all learning and figuring out. And I get people get heated and emotional about it, or not understanding it, but part of that too is you don't have all the information. We as in the outside, we don't see all the details that you're talking about, being ready for these cases and the things that do cause a delay in a process of a case going on. We lay people just don't understand, and we're like, well, what's the big deal and all this, and that's why I love talking to you guys every month, because it's like, no, you don't understand. It's our legal system is transparent on everything. Everything has to be there, and it's to protect the people we're charging the crimes with. That prevents your office from doing shady stuff. It prevents the public defenders or the defense side's office from doing shady stuff. And at the ultimate time, the judge and the judge's staff, it keeps them from doing shady stuff. And so that's why it's slow to keep that from happening. And I think if all of us just understand that's the place it's coming from, maybe we can be a little more patient on how the sausage is made, if that makes sense.
Right.
Everyone's presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, and you're mad because you look at something in the news and you're thinking, but what if that was you? What if you're the person? How would do you want everything available to you and the transparency? I'm thinking you're going to want that. So this is why we do it, so everyone gets the fair shake. Does it feel like that all the time? No, because the world we live in, but that's the goal. That's what we're trying to do. We're humans. We're not going to be perfect. But you know what? The moment we stop trying to do it this way is the moment the chaos and the other stuff happens.
Sure.
So you may not like all the process, but you got to at least understand how it's made. Once you do that, you can work within the system and know what you can do and what it's going to be a problem for you, And that's probably half your job, right? Is really that kind of just the ins and outs and have what's going to play, what's not going to play. What's the temperature over here? What's not the, you know what I mean? That's it's for something that's so precise. There's a whole lot of gray, and that's the law. Right. You know what I mean? The law is not gray, but everything about it, around it is, and that's tricky, and that's what you guys deal with all the time. So that's why I don't envy you guys, but I'm very thankful for everything that and not just your office, every DA's office in the plant. They deal with some tough stuff, and 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 like you said, they don't get the best pay. They don't. Not like you said, they pay well. I mean, you live very comfortably. You got a nice house and things, but when you have someone doing the same thing you're doing, sitting across the aisle making 6 times what you just did, that tends to creep in your brain a little bit sometimes, I'm guessing. So that's, especially when they do it badly, and you're like, I did it better than they did, and they got paid 6 times more for it. But that's the fight you guys fight all the time. So that's what you guys deal with on a daily basis. I know I'm jumping all over the place here, but I'm kind of curious, like, getting back to the compartmentalizing side thing. Is that just come with experience for you guys, or do you guys have to really work with your deputy DAs and things and kind of do that mental health side with them? And is that because, like you said, they're fresh a lot of these are fresh, so they haven't been beaten up yet, if you know what I mean. And is that a lot of your job kind of that too, is being the kind of the mentor to these folks and saying, look, you're going to have those days. It's what you do, pick. I mean, is that really a big hunk of your job sometimes? Is just being that support for your deputy DAs?
We do that with all the attorneys, whatever level, and in our trainings that we have twice a year from the New Mexico District Attorneys Association, they always offer that as a segment. We also, through the National District Attorneys Association, they have a lot of webinars, and they did a series on prosecutor wellness. And so we have those. Some are free, so that our attorneys can log on, do it anytime. It's it's a recorded. Some are live. And then they've had some in person. And so we have tried to incorporate all of that. And then we do an annual training once a year for our district, where we try to get everybody together in one location. We try to incorporate something at that training that offers that. Of course, our court facility dogs, I always have to talk about them.
They're amazing.
They are our everyday
They were on the show
a
a couple months ago, and they'll probably come back. But they're amazing, and they do a lot of great work for you guys.
Yes.
They're kind of the when you're in a bad situation, they're the calm in the storm sometimes. They're the ones that bring tranquility to a untranquil situation sometimes, and that's why they're so amazing. And all they do is walk in the room and wag their tail and pant and love on you. That's all they do. Sorry, I didn't mean to kind of cut in there. I just want to explain people on that.
Yeah, sure. Now we so it's a kind of a combination of things. From helping them learn that one, it's your job, it's not personal, and that a lot of negative things are going to come your way, and how to deal with that. And,
right.
And so having resources, and then just having somebody to talk to.
Sure.
And so that's just within the office, whether it's peer-to-peer or whether it's, a supervisor, whether it's one of our victim advocates, whatever can help. We're all a team, and it's really a family. Each office is really like its own little family.
Sure.
And but definitely that is a toll that all of our staff take, and definitely the attorneys who take that responsibility for the outcome of a case, good or bad. It still has effect on you.
And I imagine this is what kind of brings that family environment, because you all are watching each other, and so and I'm sure there is that point, and especially you as the DA, you're kind of looking. It's like, all right, they might be a little too close. I need to give them a break, or need to help them out a little bit, And you all are all doing that to each other, I'm sure. You know what I mean? It's like, what's up with Justin? Why was he a little salty? Maybe I need to talk to him a little bit. You know what I mean? That's that. But that's the same mindset in law enforcement, as you know, Justin, and military is the same way. But it has to be, because that's what they do. You look out for each other, and I do want to ask you, because we were talking, and I know this was a little off, but it kind of is, because I think it transitions. You mentioned your lack of. We need more DAs. We need more lawyers. So let me ask you, young people listening, if pursuing a career in law, what path? How would you? I mean, you did it away, but what would you recommend? Like, if someone says, a career as a lawyer, how would you tell them to prepare for that?
Well, what I would tell them is, if you're in high school right now and you want to do a summer internship with us, or do an internship that's after school, hour 2 a day.
Okay.
For a few hours a week. We definitely do those unpaid.
Okay.
At times we can pay.
Okay.
And so reach out to us. If they're under 18, we have to have parental consent.
Sure.
And go through confidentiality. But it's a good way to see what we do and see if you're interested.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of people that clerk for us out of law school in the summers that they decide, okay, they graduate, they go to college, no matter what your degree is anymore. Whatever interests you, whatever can benefit you in your life is what your undergraduate degree should be. I mean, they used to have like a pre-law. They don't do that anymore.
Gotcha. And if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole point of a lot of times, not so much with lawyers because you need law degrees, but businesses and companies and entities look for people with a degree, and it's not always. I mean, sometimes it is, but it's not always what that undergrad. It's proving that you can complete a task. So if your undergraduate degrees in science or basket weaving, it just wants to prove that you can give a task and go to completion. So that's part of that reason. Now, obviously, you're going to need more specialized training as you get farther up, but
right.
That's kind of getting your foot in the door, is just to prove that I'm a person that can be given a task and can complete it.
But we always welcome people if they just want to do a shadow day. Come follow us around, whether it's being, we need lawyers, but
sure.
We have victim advocates, we have investigators. If they want to shadow somebody, let us know. We try to accommodate that.
Sure.
But wanting to make a difference, wanting to help people is usually what gets people into law. Sometimes it's frustrating because, like you said, the law seems black and white, but it's a very gray system.
Everything around is gray.
And so you have to know that you can't always achieve the goal you want right away, but that consistency and perseverance is what most of the time we're looking for. But we're always glad to talk to people, mentor people, and like I say, if they're in high school or if they're already in college, we've had people work remote for us that are in college and in law school.
Kind of set the table. They're getting their certifications and their accreditations.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, they're starting their job and getting the ins and outs and learning. And so when they get their degrees or whatever they're trying to get, they can plug right in and start doing what they got to do.
Well, and to speak on that, there's a success story right out of our office in Carlsbad where there was a young man that mentored with me for an amount of time, and after he graduated high school, he realized that this was definitely something he wanted to get into, so he jumped right in, and he's now our PTI coordinator for that office. It does our pretrial interviews and stuff.
But I also think too is you guys get a better person later on, because if they're shadowing you and mentoring you, you're kind of showing them the ropes your way and things, and so if they do come back, it's almost like you don't have to retrain them because they were kind of brought up in your way. Does that make sense? Whereas if they went to another place, they're like, okay, well, we don't do it that way here. We got to do it this way. They're there. They can just plop into the line and go to work, so to speak. So
and we don't. Sometimes someone will do an internship or a law clerk position, and they're not very busy. That will not be the case in the fifth. They're going to learn all sorts of things that they never expected and be exposed. We always have to go through does something violent bother you? Does seeing blood bother you? What upsets you?
Yeah.
Can you handle cases with small children?
Yeah.
So we have to know what we can let them be present in and let them observe and be a part of what they read. But it is an experience that we really can't really give a good description. They really, once they're there and they're
you got to be in the moment to understand it.
Baptism by fire.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
But we've had several people that have interned for us in high school, and we had one go on to college, and then they went on to law school. They didn't come back to work for us. That's okay. We put somebody into the system.
Well, if their parents are here, they might need to take care of them. We'll bring them back and say, hey, come on in while you're back close to family. We got a job for you.
Well, and you never know. It might bring them back, but at least if it brings them into the system, that's the important thing.
Well, and they're good people doing good things in our country, but we'd love them here. But if they're doing it in Texas or wherever, then so be it. They lucked out in Texas, but they're still doing good things for people in our country, and that's a good thing. But really, folks, law folks, and I would even guess young people that think they want to be the next Johnny Cochran or one of these guys. I think when you talk to them, it's like, sure, if that's your end game, but going through me first is going to make you much better at that end than you are. I would imagine someone that's level of like the Johnny Cochrans and these, high profile attorneys that show up every time on TV. I bet a lot of those were probably the ones that are really good, probably spent time in either as a public defender or a DA's office doing that kind of stuff and learning the real ins and outs before they can get up to B.F. Lee Bailey and those guys. Yeah, all I know is O.J. Simpson trial guy. Sorry, I'm famous lawyers right now. Sorry.
Well, you're definitely going to get trial experience here in the 5th.
Yeah, but that's what, and I think, and so please, if there's, if you're thinking about, maybe there's some about to be lawyers now that are living in here and things. Come talk to Diana's office here. Talk to the folks here. Be in the loop. Get the, it might be your home forever. But if not, you really get to kind of learn what your job is and see what your job is and learn all the stuff that they didn't teach in a classroom at college,
We always say if you, if you live in our community and you have a family member that's in law school somewhere else, it's sometimes hard to get jobs in some communities because they're so saturated, right? They have all these candidates that we don't have. So, spread the word. We advertise, I think, at like 24 different law schools. And, word of mouth through other attorneys that work for us is the best way. But
sure.
We've actually hired some people through family members,
Good.
That remove
turn over every rock, right? Yeah, why not?
But really, truly, law affects everything we do. Everything anybody does in business, there is some law that is something they have to comply with. So whether you ultimately stay in criminal law, you move on to some sort of other practice, but we are a good place to train and learn because you don't get the trial experience in the civil world anymore that you used to. And if you want to do criminal defense work, or you maybe want to be somebody that goes on to legal aid, you have to learn how to do all the steps. And in an office where we have multiple attorneys with varied experience of years, you're going to get that. And so we offer that opportunity.
Sure.
So
it's a bunch of mentors in the room there for you. It really is.
It really is. And like I say, there's no shortage of learning. It's we learn every day. I learn every day at this job.
Absolutely. And I bet it's fair to say that as a district attorney today, the job, yes, the job is different than a regular trial lawyer or something, but I would even say the process and everything, like the stuff you've learned in law school and learned, like what you know today is probably night and day different than when you started as an attorney. It's just, it's no different in doctors, teachers, and what. The first year teacher is gonna not know as much as the teachers have been doing it for 15, 20 years. It's just, that's life. And so I would even imagine the law and how it's done is like, if you like, I would even guess maybe like when you went through law school and all that, it's probably even some of that's a little different today on how some of that's done, just because that's what happens as time goes on. Things change, procedures change, processes change. And so, yeah, the vein of it, the heart of it's the same, but maybe the path is not the same that it was for you. Maybe you go this way and go this angle and you get just as far than doing it this way, and that's
right.
And that's the stuff you learn as you get experience. I know I was very, very vague and generic there, but you kind of got to be. It's really up to you. We live in the world now where, if you're dedicated and hardworking, regardless whether it's an attorney or any other profession, that the more you involve yourself, the more you just expose yourself to it, the better you're going to do to it. And so being a lawyer, regardless of what your end game is, spending time in a prosecution office and spending time, I think that's, maybe all lawyers should spend a little time in there just to kind of all understand how, where everyone's coming from sometimes. And so and that's true in any life. And this is, I know I'm getting really soapboxy and I hate doing this, but young people, that's the treat. You want the trick in life is get experience in as many things as possible. Understand the more worldly you are, more just all around you are, the ability to do things and problem solve and do that kind of stuff, the more successful you're going to be. So if you're pursuing that attorney path and things, please start at this level to really learn what it means to be a lawyer. And then hopefully you want to stay and keep doing this. But, if it's time to greener pastures, and so be it. But you've got the experience, the tools, and the know-how to do whatever you want to do with it next. So, and that's, I think that you can promise people. You know what I mean? As a district attorney, you come work for my office, I guarantee you're going to be a better lawyer by the time you leave here. Hopefully you don't leave, but if you do, you're going to be a better lawyer.
Yes.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I would argue the same thing. If they're coming through your word, you're going to be a better law enforcement official if you come through me and talk to me. So, good deal. Is there any information that you guys want to cover that I just completely pushed us off? Was there any topics or anything that you wanted to make sure we talked about while you're on the radio today?
I don't know if you, I think recently you may have been in the paper about, I was asked to speak to a group about kind of tell the public why we do so many pleas on cases, why we reach plea agreements.
Sure, okay.
And I think the easy answer is we couldn't try every case. There's not enough days in the year, and jurors certainly don't want to be there every day doing jury service.
Y'all know just well how y'all try to get out of jury duty. Everyone else doing the same thing.
So, but before we do a plea, we assess our strength of our case. We talk to any victims or family members of victims in cases, business owners, whoever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the best end result we can get? Controlling the outcome through a plea, it is something we can do, right? We know what the charge is. We know what the range of sentence may be.
Sure.
And that gives us some control versus a jury trial where, sometimes jurors don't see the evidence the way we see it.
Sure.
And so the reality is it used to be like 80% of cases pled versus trial, but it's probably at this day and time higher 90% just because of shortage of attorneys, the backlog of COVID, our Supreme Court, which I understand they're doing what's called a case management rules in various districts. We don't have one yet. We always say coming soon near you, right? But it will give us very short deadlines to have all discovery. So body cam video that we hear so much about, everybody thinks, well, why can't all law enforcement just have the same system? And so all DA's offices get it the same way, and then we provide it to defense the same way. Wouldn't that be nice in a perfect world? But there are businesses out there that make a living selling that technology.
And some offer a better deal than others.
And so they offer different ones. And so for trying to figure out how, I think I counted up the other day that we have approximately 13 law enforcement agencies in the 5th District in 3 counties.
And 13 different ways of systems for it.
Well, thank goodness it's not 13, but it is several.
Sure.
And then we have the fun of internet speed, right, for getting video.
Oh, and by the way, we live in a very rural area where it's spotty at best sometimes. Yeah.
So, it's like in a perfect world. But I think those are struggles that we see that sometimes that's the delay, right?
Sure.
And then I say it's a game, right? The defense is like, oh, I don't have that one body cam video of the officer that did nothing, but they have a right to have it because they got called to be perimeter or called, and then they got called away to something else, and they actually work this case. But that's one of our struggles. So we're working as all district attorneys around the state trying to figure out what's the answer. What program out there, what software can help capture all those body cams, all the police reports in a better way.
And it will happen. That's technology. And to be honest, in the body cam world and any other, when you see it come out, it's really at the worst it's going to be technology-wise. It's, as time happens, it's like computers. You remember the first computer some of y'all were on? And compared to what you're using today, you think it's the same computer. It's not. And these cams are the same way. And so we're in that part where it's relatively new industry. And so we're still kind of learning the quirks, learning what works best, what work doesn't. And I guarantee in 10, 15 years from now, they're going to have and maybe it is all on one system. Maybe it's not, but it's going to be streamlined a lot better. And it's no different than this AI stuff you're seeing on the internet now. This is right now is the worst it's going to be. It's going to be better from here. So the people and the worries that people are talking about now, you're like, oh, come on, look at that. Yeah, right now. Give me 5 years and tell me that answer again, and I'll see what you say. And that's what we're dealing with. And it's no different in technology world for these things.
Right. And in a DA's office where, I actually created positions for people that all they do is collect body cam, right? All they do is request a report. So I have one employee in each office. I called it evidence liaison. What else do you call it? I don't know. Came up with the name. And they work really hard. But one person, multiple agencies, just think about Travis County. I mean, think about how many different police agencies. You've got state police. You've got the Roswell Police Department, the Travis County Sheriff's Office. You've got Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur. Just those entities, and in multiple video and reports on each case, no matter how simple it is, right? And then you've got surveillance video from neighbors and businesses, and it just goes on and on. And so to collect all that and to know we have all of it, they want us to have it within days of a case.
It's a tall order to turn all that around,
and it is. It is. And
especially when you're short-staffed and don't have enough people qualified to do what you're asking to do available to you at that moment. And, oh, by the way, we need it yesterday. And now you kind of get a sense of what life is like at the district attorney's office pretty much every day.
Pretty much every day.
All right, we're running out of time. I love to keep talking, but I'm sure you guys have about 10 fires to stomp out. So probably I'll let you get back to it. But, folks, if you have questions, don't hesitate to call the district attorney's office and talk to people if you have questions, or certainly if you're interested in maybe doing some mentorship or doing a little bit of shadowing and stuff, please reach out to the DA's office. Reach out to, if you're going to school as an attorney or, hoping to get your law degree or you want to pursue careers in law enforcement, whatever, if this is your passion, come talk to the DA's office. See how the sausage is made. See if this is, especially if before you want to invest the next 4 to 8 years of your life getting the training and everything for it, maybe you want to see if that's really what you want to do first before you do it. So come take that, come see it, and see. And plus, I think it'll give you a better perspective of just life in general, how people are, because we all live our lives from our own little lane here, and we don't always realize, sure, we watch Twitter and TikTok and see what's going on, but you're on your bubble and doing your thing. This might give you a chance to see how other people live sometimes and see what life is. It's not always the same as yours, and stuff like that. So, is there anything we missed? Anything you guys wanted to share?
No, I think we're good. So
thank you guys. Thank you very much. I love having these conversations. I love talking. I think these are the kind of talks that if we all just have them, people understand. May not like or agree with everything, but at least we know where everyone's coming from. And I think that's important in life today, now more than ever.
We appreciate the opportunity to come out here.
Anytime. Thank you guys, and thank you for what you do, and stay safe out there, and try not to work too hard. Take a day off. Take a vacation every once in a while. Go watch Bad Perry Mason. Take a day off and watch Perry Mason shows all day or whatever you like doing. But thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, 9:57. Let's play a couple ads to pay for my lunch before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
You bought a dining table, not a Lego set. So why are your chairs wobbly, and the second your great Aunt Bertha bumps the corner of the table, you're cleaning up spills? This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. A quality dining set doesn't need you to rebuild it after every meal. It doesn't need spa dates or expensive gifts every time you need it to perform for fancy dinners. Here at Glenn's, we have a wonderful selection of dining sets in stock, and the quality speaks for itself. Come see us on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
The Out of This World Vehicle Elimination Event is on at Roswell Nissan. For 2 big weekends, Roswell Nissan is throwing the biggest party in the galaxy with free food, stuff for the kids, and your chance to win one of 2 packages that include an Area 52 laser tag group session and 2 free movies a month for a year from Galaxy 8. And that's not all. Roswell Nissan is giving away $250 cash every day at 6 p.m. from August 18th through August 26th. And great deals like a 2021 Nissan Versa for just $289 a month. The Out of This World Vehicle Elimination Event on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Find your path to a greater future at Eastern New Mexico University. Come experience the ENMU Advantage, which includes tuition-free higher education through the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship, small class sizes, and professors who are here to help you succeed. ENMU has a free application and no application deadline, allowing you to apply up until the start of the fall semester in August. For more information, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 10 o'clock. If you missed any part of our show today, I invite you to go back and check it out at your leisure. Log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find them all there. We had Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck, join us in the 7 o'clock hour, recapping their last school board meeting and just kind of give us an update on the start of the school year. We replayed our interview with the folks from American Legion Post 61. They joined us on Tuesday, so we played that. And then, of course, we just had District Attorney Diana Luce and Lead Investigator Justin Dominguez join us this hour. All right, we got to go. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND.